Yo, 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 what up, party animals? Welcome to Lefty Live, another Thursday edition. Gonna be chilling like a villain with Ben from Jack Wolf Knives. Bring him on here. What's up, Benny?
What is up, everybody?
With Ben. There we go. All right. I got an iPad, and I figure I can use it to watch for the member stuff that you can't ever fucking see. Yeah.
Yep. I could watch the comments over here. It's a little easier.
Yeah. That makes it kind of nice so I don't have to be skipping shit. Well, we'll see because I still got to look at it.
It's not running yet. Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, it's going for me. I see Nuts for Knives joined up memberships. Thank you, dude. Appreciate you, man. Robert Douglas is in the house. What up?
What's up, y'all?
Luke. What's up, Ground Fog? Stephen Wallace. Kev's already behind. You guys never give it a rest, do you?
I'll do my best to help.
Drink water. What up? It's okay. He'll read this after. Yep. Hey, man, if you guys weren't so active, don't quit. Don't quit. I'm just saying. You guys are all over it. I love that. Revolving Blades, what's up, dude? Trying to decide on if I should get one of the premium stouts or the Gunslinger. Can only get one. Tough decision. I will help you. I would buy the Gunslinger because I don't know where you're going to get the stout. They're not available retail, so you'd be buying it secondary, in which case you're not really helping me all that much. So you might as well help Ben and get the Gunslinger.
You know what? Just trust your gut. If you have a good source on the secondary, these are heart-driven purchases. So just try to listen to your heart.
If you mean this one, I don't know when the pre-order's coming. It might be a couple months, might be a month, 2 months. So the Gunslinger you can get now, and actually it'll ship like right away. This is going to be a pre-order, so I don't know if that helps you at all, but I'm doing a really good job selling my shit, huh? What up, Craig? What's going on, dude? I mean, they're very different too, so I think you should be able to, decide pretty easily. I would. What up, Michael Morgan? So we have linked Ben's Facebook group. So shout out to anybody in the Facebook group. This might be
there we go.
Somebody in the group. I think on Facebook you have to allow it to show your name. It's usually in the description when you go to the post in Facebook.
I did post when I linked the group. It gave me an option to include instructions, and then it gave me the text to paste in the instruction
You did
box.
Both?
Yes. So if you guys want to, in fact, why don't you pull it up on your screen so people in the Facebook group can see? Yeah, and then we can both see, because I don't really know what it looks like.
When you say pull it up, you mean in the group?
Go to the Facebook group and find the post that StreamYard auto-generated.
Just making sure that's what you meant. Groups. Where's the there it is. It's like one of 3 groups that I actually go into.
4 weeks ago, you bum.
Yeah, dude, it's been a while. Facebook is the one that falls on the wayside for me.
Yeah, I understand. There it is. Just go down a little bit more.
Yeah, here we go. Oh, that's kind of weird. It's telling us exactly what we're saying 5 minutes ago when we were talking about that. So I'm going live. Please grant permission to see your name at StreamYard.Facebook. So I think you just click this link. Yep. And then it says, I'll even show that. So you click that link, takes you to this link.
We lost you. There you go.
I know. I was just bringing it up.
No,
let StreamYard see your Facebook Live comments. Click that. And that'll add you in. And now I can stop. Go back.
Yeah,
now I can go here.
Make a comment. Talk about using
now
our
technology.
technology.
Show up probably
there it is. Oh, but dude, it says Facebook user, or at least it says that in the stream.
Oh yeah, it still says it there.
Lame.
That is kind of lame. What the hell? Maybe I had to reload. Let me try reloading. That's probably what it was. Try again. It has my name there. No.
Nope.
Well, what the hell? It says, now we'll see your name and picture when you comment on a Facebook Live video inside a group. That's all you need to do. You may return to Facebook. Huh. Well, hopefully it works for other people. Look. Oh, no, he's on YouTube. Look.
He's probably on YouTube. What up, Donnie?
I don't know. We'll figure it out. But you can still comment and we can read it.
We'll just call you Facebook user.
Yeah, it might just be it's possible it's a setting that you have to set maybe in the group or some dumb shit. It's probably something stupid like that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Some back end nonsense. So anyway, we're getting there. We're getting there.
What's up, Colin?
But yeah, what's up, Donnie? How you doing, man? So, oh, Colin, what up, dude? Cracking, son.
I like Colin's like modeling photo he's got there. Were you a model at some point, Colin, or are you still a model?
Is his San Francisco pick is what that is. He's a California boy. So wait, we could talk about what we carried today.
Sure.
Ooh, is that a scratch?
I gotta go get it.
Oh, no way. Oh, wait. Got my CWF Micro Arcadian. This is the DLC with a Zerblast on it. And I thought I scratched it. Had a mark along the side. I got the Zerkutai clip on it, too. These are sick. He has some stuff on his website right now. But
what is a Zerblast?
I think it was just what?
What is Zerblast?
Zerblast is like think of like a sandblast or something like that, but they use pretty sure they use like little pellet like Zerk pellets or something. It means Zer as in like Zerk, like zirconia.
Right.
Here, let's just Google it so I'm not wrong.
I mean, does it matter? Like, if you blast it with Zerk, does that make it like been touched by Zerk? Am I in a museum lobby? No, I'm in my dining room, Colin. When I bought this house, I bought all the furniture off the guy because I didn't want to furnish the place, and it worked out. And so his wife had some eclectic taste, and so I have a
ceramic.
Tapestry.
Sorry,
Zerblast. Yeah, it's just a ceramic bead blast.
Yeah. So it's zirconia, as in those little white pellets,
like cubic zirconia.
Yeah, it's like, not like Zerk. Okay, I was totally wrong. But I really like the finish that it gives on, even like titanium. It's really cool. On tungsten, it looks cool. This is a DLC flashlight, and then it's Zerblasted after that, or before. I'm not sure, but. Anyway, I love this fucking thing. Then I had my US-made growler prototype today because I took this puppy apart, fixed the clip. It was a little bit tappy. We're getting the finals on this one, hopefully next week, and then we can get the first little batch done.
When you say finals, you mean the final prototype?
No, final quote.
Oh.
Just so it like... whatever, the invoice.
Yeah.
And then I had my Feel Good Jack with the Northwoods Leatherworks slip. I had this in the front pocket. I didn't have the Gunslinger because I was fucking Loctiting it.
You didn't leave the glue from your video?
I tried to
You went back in there?
I went back in. I didn't go back in there. I just tried to reset the pivot to try to get the centering even better, which I think I actually nailed it.
Dude, that looks perfect, man.
It's a funky ass thing. Some knives do this. It's the backspacer. I think because of the ano, it like the light plays with it. And in some lights, it's like dead nuts. And in other lights, it's like a little over. But I think now it's actually just good. But
people do that too with like dive watches and getting the little indicator. Like if it doesn't perfectly line up with 12 o'clock, they lose their mind. And here was what I would recommend. Give yourself like 1 degree, a half a degree of wiggle room for your own sanity.
I try so hard and I don't know what it is. Like with the slip joints, I've learned to give that degree. But with a locking knife, I go bananas over it. It's weird.
It's because I think I know why, other than, of course, the OCD factor. But it's because in your mind, you're thinking, well, I can correct that. Like, I think I can fix that. So it's like an unchecked box.
Right.
Instead of the mindset of like, yeah,
that, and I'm like, cool. It could be. And then mentally, it's like, it's not in the middle. Like my brain wants it to be in the middle. But like, as I sit here right now, it is directly in the middle.
I mean, dude, that one's money. Yeah. This is from the factory. I never took this one apart. Just, for what it's worth.
See, now you can see it when I do this.
Yeah, a little bit.
It fucking plays with it. And then I'll turn it this way. And it'll probably look perfect.
That looks pretty damn good right there.
It's fucking weird, dude.
It is. And the tip on these is so thin.
Yeah.
That's the other thing too, is like you have a super precise needle. So if you really study it, you're like, oh man, but if it was like a chunky deal, yeah, dude, when you did that, it almost got lost. Look at that.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy. And once you take these apart, at least I guess I took this one apart. When I got it back together, it's a tank, and now it swings and it just takes a little shake to close it. Where when I first got it, I would do this and it would just stay open, and I'd have to just kind of shake it down. But I think the detent just breaks in, the detent ball and the track.
Yeah, these are like factory fresh. You know what I mean? Like all the parts,
and they seem to come kind of dry. Like they don't lube them a lot.
So they do lube them, but just like the slip joints, the lube like migrates out. Right. Like I'm wiping oil off these bolsters during quality control. It's super annoying. And so there's no doubt in my mind they're oiling them. It just does not stay. Yeah. And I sent them nano oil. Now I sent them 10 because this was a long time ago. And that was kind of what I was preferring them. I wish I sent them a bunch of tubes. I wish I sent them 85, but I think it's just a matter of the airplane and the pressure.
Well, I wouldn't put 85 in the bearings. I would put it on the detent ball.
85. Well, I sent them for the slip joints. I like it on the slip joints.
The 85 is good.
I like 5 in the bearings. It really gets in there.
Yeah. Who's this Facebook user? You're lucky I don't know your name.
It's probably someone in there to troll you.
I should just go back to the group and see who it is. I know, it's just kidding. It's fucking hilarious.
Asking about the screws. I'm going to talk to the factory about the screws. It might take a little bit to see that change because they probably order them in bulk. And I don't think I'd expect them to throw out if they have like several thousand screws on standby. I don't think
I wonder how they do it. I mean, they're definitely turning these screws specifically for your knives. So that's good.
Yeah, they're ordering them from a manufacturer, presumably, or they're making them in house. I don't know.
But they're not ordering like 40,000 because they use them for everything. Like they're just for you, basically.
Yeah, they're designed for my knives, but clearly they're going to buy them in bulk to bring the cost down. And because
for sure. Unless they make them.
Right. But even then, like if you know about those Swiss lathes, like it takes a bunch of time to set them up and then they just dump screws.
Dude, can you guys hear this?
Oh, it sounds good. Where's the microphone?
In person, it sounds like fucking thunderclap. It's insane. Yeah,
so I was carrying my feel good jack. I can't kick this out of my pocket.
Yeah,
now,
dude. it's so fucking good. I carried the barley for a few days because we were doing the pre-order and everything, and I was like, shit, I gotta get the feel good back in my pocket.
And in an effort to, live with this knife, I've been carrying 2 knives in pouches, which for me, something I do not typically do. Sold a bunch of these today, man, on the website.
Yeah. I can't do it. Can't do it. It has a clip, and dude, you designed a good fucking clip, so I just rock the clip.
I mean, that's why it's there,
Yeah.
This was, for all intents and purposes, for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to carry a knife with a pocket clip except for a couple months when I wear jeans, and even then, it's kind of the exception, not the rule. But to go back to Sean's question, I'm going to talk to them about improving the tooling and the screws. I don't see why it's something we can't do. But I will say for everybody, don't freak out about it. Just use a little bit of extra caution when you work with these. I've been unscrewing and screwing these screws since I got the knives, and knock on wood, I think I just got the hang of it.
Yeah, I think I've gotten better at it too. A little bit. Man. It comes down to how tight you make things too. I like to make things real snug, so that makes it,
Dude,
it adds in a layer.
I was watching your video, and I was watching how much torque you put into the little T6s and these T8s, and for sure it's more than, frankly, I would recommend.
Yeah. I just turn it until it stops fighting me, and then I stop. I don't go past that, but when I turn, that's why I use a driver that I can't over crank on. So I just turn it until it stops, and then I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Well,
I just have
you go past when it stops, dude.
I've literally never stripped a screw out like that. So
that's good. I'm not saying you're overdoing it, but when I was watching your video, it appeared that you put more torque into something than I do for the final.
I would think so, yeah.
Lockdown. What's up,
yeah,
Joseph?
What up? How's it going, dude?
I'll get some of the other colors out.
The Feel Good is absolutely my favorite. Yeah, the Feel Good's sick, man. They're probably still available too, right?
Yeah, and none of the colors are fully sold out. It's the distribution is as it typically is. If you go to Blade HQ is gone, Knife Center's gone. I think DLT has one color left, but at some of my smaller dealers, you can still get all of them.
All the color.
If anybody wants to know where something is, just send me a message.
Nice.
So here's gold with the plug.
Yeah, the gold looks sick.
People are really digging the gold, getting a lot of comments on Instagram.
It was really cool to see what that's awesome, Casey. The pink cyborg's sick. It was awesome to see what Fanatic Edge is doing with just adding a little bit of pop to things and changing a couple colors here and there.
I wish he would do some of the feel goods he has. He's just been busy before Blade Show. But yeah, dude, these are dropping. Let me get it right.
Yeah. That's good. Those are just out of the box, or have you messed with
out of the box? These ones with the clips on them, I took them out of the box and took them to Blade. So they've been handled.
Okay. So they might have broken in a little bit.
They broke in. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm trying to say is they will
break in.
They will break in. I mean, like you said in your video, that has really small bearings, and everything's tight and new. And like you said, pretty dry on the inside. So don't let the first impression be what you guys think this knife is going to be like after.
I think what you could do is just take it, put a couple drops of oil down under the bearings, and then the biggest thing for me is put a drop of heavier oil onto that detent ball and just work it in. And it makes a huge difference. Like today, I cleaned this knife out, put it back together, and I wipe everything down with isopropyl alcohol, and I forgot to put anything on the detent track. So when I got it back together, I was closing it, and it was having this weird kind of tightness right here. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this thing? And then I realized I didn't put any oil on the detent track. I just went in there with a little Q-tip, put a dot in, and all of a sudden it was like fucking butter.
Yeah.
So you do that, work it in, and then just carry the thing and play with it. It's a fun knife, you know. What up, Joseph? How's it going, man?
I definitely designed it to be fun. You know, I designed this. I was very open-minded when I did this because, as you guys know, I'm more of a slip joint guy, but I obsessively have been watching YouTube videos for the longest time, and I just listen to what you guys talk about and what you like. And I was like, all right, got some criteria. Don't have to pick them all up, such as ruining the lines of my show side with a lock bar relief cut. There's some bridges I won't cross, but there's a lot of
being a knife guy, dude, or not being a locking knife guy. You fucking designed a sweet ass locking knife. Like, it's impressive.
I appreciate it. Let's do perp.
You tighten too much, kid. Yeah.
Really like the purple anno. Got some perps.
I had way less of a problem than Kev. Yeah. Well, my problem was I tried to super glue it. And then, I mean, I even said in the beginning of the video, I'm like, I'm an idiot. Just wait for it. I tried to super glue it because I'm impatient. I don't want to wait for fucking Loctite. So I did that. And then I didn't think about the spinning pivot. So I was just using finger pressure on the back. And the glue started to catch. And it was like halfway in. And I was fucked at that point. But luckily, I just got it back out, cleaned it all up, and then went in for seconds because I'm still too impatient. And it was fine. After I glued it that last time, it was great. But then I got all OCD about the centering, so I went back in last night, and then I just Loctited it. I used blue, though. But they do recommend purple on this because it's a 1/8-inch pivot. It's not a 1/4 inch or less or whatever.
Obviously, blue works because most people use it. Most people have it. But if you look at Loctite's literature, blue is 1/4 inch. Like the shaft is a 1/4 inch or more. Like there's no pivots that use a 1/4 inch.
That's true. But this is very small.
It is. It is. And if you saw the inside of the knife, like when you look at the tang, it's the only way to do this knife. You know, to fit it all in the way I designed it. I should say we designed it. Me and Chris Ortiz, who helped me out. God bless him.
Chris who?
Ortiz, Cerberus Knives.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that was who helped you. I just assumed it was I assumed it was Pena.
No, not on this one.
And then I was thinking maybe it was Justin Lundquist for some reason.
I don't know him.
Because of the tiny ass pivot, I was thinking it was him because he did the baby bar. I'm trying to clean the fucking tang on this thing.
No, so Chris Ortiz, he's Cerberus. You know,
yeah, I know who he is. I know who he is.
So he and I became friends, and like we kind of help each other out. Like I help him with business stuff, you know, how to set up spreadsheets, how to plan, like the business stuff. I kind of school him there.
Yeah,
and he schooled me on the layout of these locking knives. Like he took me to school on this thing. I owe him a tremendous amount of credit.
It's pretty impressive, dude, because this is fucking great. Yeah.
I just did not want it to suck. You know what I mean?
It's that left, right?
Right. I just didn't want it to suck. I wanted it to be right. It took a year and multiple prototypes before I was like, this is pretty dope. You know, I just, by the time I got the final one, I was like, without having a bunch of feedback from everyone and taking it to the market, I don't think I can do a heck of a lot better on my first stab at something like this.
Yeah. Yo, what up, B? How's it going, man?
Backpack. Why aren't you at Blade, bro?
It's not a pre-order, man. It's a drop. It's a drop.
Yeah, don't be calling Jack Wolf's pre-orders. The only time I'll probably ever do a pre-order is if I get talked into doing a Lefty one of these. But I'd probably do a pre-order for it. Or not even a pre-order, but a Kickstarter. Because it's like, if we don't reach the goal, you can all get your money back and then never ask me again.
Well, Kickstarter, you never get you don't take the money until you get
That's
it
my
passed.
point.
So, yeah.
That's my point. You know, because I'm getting a lot of people shaking me down for it, and I'm like,
well, you
I will
should
do
talk.
it.
You should talk to Joseph about it, because he's done a couple Lefty runs, and I mean, you can like you're gonna have knives on the shelf. Like that's just
Right.
how it goes.
Well, that's why I'm down to have knives on the shelf, but I don't want to make 300 and sell 40.
Right. Well, you got to do a minimum order, which would be 300, I guess, and then I bet you could sell. Dude, it's tough, man. Like maybe you'd probably drop like 50 quick, maybe, and then you'd be eking out the next 250.
Yeah,
and you'd still have them a year later, probably.
Well, I'm not. Joseph's a lot more established than I am, so I can't do something like that now. That's why I said if we kickstarted it and let's say
I think he does bigger numbers than that. Like I think he ordered like 500 or 600 of the Axons and I don't know what he did on these. I don't know if he wants to share, but I still have 2 of these. Fucking love the Synapse Lefty.
Mm-hmm.
This thing's sweet. You have one of these?
It's Donnie has it, so it's ours. It's his, but when he moves here, we'll have it to play with.
Nice. Yeah. Fucking love this knife. And I'm hoping if you're still watching, Joe, a mini fucking Impulse Lefty would be like my fucking dream. Love that knife so much. Just want it to be left-handed. Allie Cord, what up, Alice? How's it going? Knife Life EDC, what up? Needs a 10% off super glue code.
You should do a video comparing all the different types of super glue, like Crazy Glue, Gorilla Glue.
I only use
Walmart
Gorilla
glue. You use Gorilla?
I use it because it comes in like a little pen thing. And then Tinker Force made me a little tray that holds all my like KPLs and shit. And he cut a little slot in just for the super glue to sit in. It's fucking great, dude.
Nice.
I've only fucked up one knife that I couldn't fix. And that was a fucking Jaeger.
Oops.
I blame it a little bit on the Jaeger because something was up with the captive pivot where it just wasn't captivating or whatever you call it. It wasn't catching. And I glued it and I was tightening it down. And there was a moment where I was like, this isn't going to work. I need to just back this out. And I was like, no, I'm fucking going to do it. Kind of like what I did in that video with the Gunslinger. I just get like, no, I'm going to muscle this thing. And I kept trying to get it in. And before I knew it, that fucker was glued fucking shut and spinning. And I had to send it to fucking Brian Brown, and he had to drill it out.
Ooh.
And like he busted out one of the fucking Zerk like collars. I mean, I paid for it all to get replaced and everything. He's like, dude, do me a favor. Don't ever use super glue again. You know what I did the next day?
Super glued it.
I just used too much. Like, if you use too much, that's bad. A little bit is like perfect.
I would argue that any super glue in your pivot is too much, but hey, do you.
Yeah, well, the other option is wait fucking 2 days for your knife to lock tight.
First of all, it's overnight, dude. It's not 2 days.
No,
it's overnight.
Dude, at least for me, it's always been I gotta wait at least 24 full hours and usually 2 days. It's like where I live, dude, the humidity here is weird. Like it fucks knives up. There's so many times where people send me knives and all of a sudden it has lock stick because the fucking shit like swells in there because of the humidity or whatever. It's weird. But yeah, Loctite. Like I've had Veros that I've Loctited like 3 fucking times and they just won't hold. It's the weirdest thing.
Why don't you get red then?
Boom, that bitch is money in 4 like seconds. I don't even need to wait.
Have you tried red?
I'm not fucking with it. You're still waiting. It's just
I know, but once that bonds, dude, it's not coming apart.
Yeah, but that's the problem. That's the like super glue I can get apart. Like super glue, the thing that people I think don't understand unless you use too much is super glue is meant to not break when you're doing this. But if you just do lateral pressure, it fucking snaps instantly. So when you unscrew it, it literally just snaps it. It's honestly.
I mean, I have the same experience with purple Loctite, but you just haven't
you
had
gotta wait.
Look. I don't give a shit, dude. I got other knives to play with. Big deal. If I have to wait 3 days, what do I care?
All right. Well, once you Loctited 175,000 knives, come back to me.
I have.
We could talk about it.
And on all my firearms, I've been using Loctite on scope bases and scope rings and hand guards.
That shit's different because you don't use it. Like it doesn't.
Yeah, but the vibrational forces in those things is substantially more than.
You're not putting the Loctite in, screwing it, and then jumping on the range instantly. Like
no,
it probably sits for a couple days, a week, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. Like with a knife, you Loctite it, and then the next day, overnight or whatever, you're flicking it, that bitch fucking loosens out. And another factor is a lot of people don't realize you need to clean everything out of the pivot. If there's oil in there, most Loctites aren't oil tolerant, or you got to buy oil tolerant ones that don't really work.
Correct. You have to use acetone or rubbing alcohol and degrease the threads on the male and female parts.
Deadwood Knives? Is that a site?
Yeah, they shouldn't be live yet, so that's interesting. But whatever. They're in Tennessee. They have primarily brick and mortar establishment, but they do put them on their site. But they're what was I going to say? They're like one of the largest case dealers. So they have a lot of traditional knife customers. Jack Wolf on the left. Go to the brands section. Scroll down. Just scroll down. It's on the left if you scroll down.
Oh, fuck.
There it is.
Hinder. Look at that.
Yeah, they're not supposed to be live. I'll have to talk to Mo. I saw him at Blade Show.
He said, dude, $263.99.
$363.
Oh, sorry, $363, $349.
I don't know why he's got them priced wrong.
Maybe he's like adding them to the site right now and didn't realize. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't. Something's weird because he's got. Yeah, I don't know. I'll check it tomorrow.
Yeah, like these two are. Yeah, maybe it's just like interesting timing or something. Ben doing a locking flipper is like Bob Dylan going electric in Monterey in the 1960s. I don't get that reference at all. I mean, I know who Bob Dylan is, but the rest of that, you lost me. But what Ben's been saying is it's not Jack Wolf slip joints.
That's right. And there's other stuff I want to get into too. I want to create. I want to make things. I don't want to.
This is what I was saying when people had asked me about it too. Like, you're a businessman too. Like, you want to make money. So what makes money if you look around the market? Well, guess what? People fucking buy locking knives. A lot of people. And you're drawing those people in and converting them to slip joint users, but they already buy locking knives. Why wouldn't you attack that customer base you brought in, right? Like, that just kind of makes sense from a business standpoint, aside from the wanting to, just do other shit thing too.
Well, right. Of course, part of the drive to want to try other things is to have success. From a business standpoint, I guess you'd measure success by putting knives in people's hands, And so it's a challenge. Like, truly, when I would hear people say like, oh, I really like what you're doing, but I'm just not a slip joint guy. I got to have a knife with a clip. It's like, all right, challenge accepted. I'm going to get you. I'm going to get something for you that is on brand. Jesse says, I crank my Sebenza 21s down tight and they never loosen as the screws bind into the titanium. They do. The Sebenza 21 is different though, because it has the hell do you call it? A bushing. And so you can tighten the screws in a Sebenza 21 and bite them into the titanium, but not affect the action.
You can't do that on style of making a knife, I think.
It's a sandwich that doesn't
It's also more
rely on
expensive for them. They make all their hardware in-house, I'm sure.
everything is precision ground.
Yeah.
But on a bearing knife, when you set a pivot, the tension on the pivot affects the action.
Right.
Or
But
on
it's the same on a washer knife.
Correct. On a washer knife that doesn't, I meant to say on a knife that doesn't use a bushing, whether it's a bearing or a washer.
Right. I don't know how a bushing would work on a bearing knife. I've never seen it.
It would be fine because basically.
Oh, wait, no, Spyderco. No, they don't use bearings, though. How come nobody does it?
All the bushing does is everything squeezes down together, and then you have the perfect amount of gap for the washers. So you could presumably do the same thing on a bearing.
Interesting. That's never been really done. Sean, you already did. You bought my burger, Lefty. So you're already in that category.
So a double locking knife carry, Sean. What about just a slip joint, bro?
It's your ass juice.
Bearings can cut into the steel.
There's no humidity in Philly. Dude, I don't know where you're living in Philly. I don't live in Philly, first off. I live outside of it, like 45 minutes away. And it's humid as fuck here. So, you need to move out of that swamp, Shrek.
That's messed up.
Oh, my God. I'm trying to skip ahead. Crispy Donut Community. What up, dude? Those guys are awesome. I don't know if you met them at the show.
Yeah, I don't think I met them at the show, but we were chatting on Instagram.
I could see them rocking some purple and blue. What is next? MagnaCut? Apparently MagnaCut's back in China because I keep hearing people say they're going to come out with something in MagnaCut.
Well, you got to ship it to the U.S. and then ship it to China.
You just buy it and ship it yourself.
Yep. And I just saw on the Knife Center video, Kershaw leaks in MagnaCut. Presumably those are not made in the USA.
Bearing can cut into the steel / washers. But we can already do that, right? I don't know what you mean exactly. Like if you over tighten a pivot as is, you risk shit like that happening. So I don't think a bushing would. I don't know.
I don't think
maybe that wasn't an argument against it. If too much torque is used, right?
I don't think anybody.
So bushing would be good, right?
Is anybody beside Chris Reeves making a bushing knife like that? Like where you can screw the pivot down all the way till it stops without binding up the action? I don't think anybody else is doing that.
I don't know. I have a good friend who's a mechanic who refuses to use anything other than washers, says everything else collects too much debris. However, me personally, I'm the opposite. Yeah, I'm not a washer guy just because I prefer the action, but I'm not a mechanic. I don't work in an area where there's shit everywhere. So I think that makes sense but then it's like, okay, but you could also have knives like out of work. You know what I mean? But you do spend a lot of your time at work, so I get it. So I don't know. It's interesting.
Ultimately, there's no doubt in my mind that a bearing knife is going to be more susceptible to problems from lint and debris than a washer knife.
Oh, wait. Vero says we are. So are you saying you're using a bushing on something?
That's cool.
Or is somebody else asking? This is the problem with being behind.
Yeah.
I'm only 3 minutes behind though, damn it.
So, but some people are saying it's like Sage 5. Con said Sage 5 has a bushing. Someone said Spyderco uses a bushing.
There you go. He just ordered one off the site.
Get it first, that Deadwood knife.
Here's my commission, Deadwood. Come on, baby. You're my commish.
Someone said Kershaw leak is made in the USA. Thanks for clarifying, Steve. I just assumed.
Yeah, it is. It is. But did somebody say it wasn't?
No, they said it was.
And the leak,
you guys know a lot more about
the assisted or whatever. Speaking of which, dude, I got this in from House of Blades. Shout out to House of Blades. The new
what's your arrows. Let's leave the price aside. What's your impression of that thing?
So the thing with the price though is I don't think there's an issue with the price. Like if you look at Hinder or CRK, like I see people charging this for a titanium M390 knife in the US. Plus they're like a larger company. They got employees that they pay, hopefully insure and shit. Like, so if you like the knife and want to spend $530, whatever, like that doesn't bother me at all, honestly. The knife itself, it feels like a knife without scales. Like it's basically like liners. I actually compared it to this in my video. I took the scales off this Kaiser down to the steel liners, and it literally was the same thickness, and it works, right? Like this obviously had exposed springs under here, but I could get it to work. And that's what it feels like. It feels like something without scales over top. Like it's too thin, and it kind of like bites you because you have like sharp angles. They didn't chamfer these enough on the insides. That would have helped a lot. And then there's no choil. Like I don't know why they didn't just flatten that out so that you could rest basically Vero style, like where you could just choke up like this on a flat. Like why didn't they do that?
Is it put your hand on that thing the way they intended it to be? Is like it? Are you getting a full grip, or is that pinky?
Yeah, I can get a full grip, but it's just like not super comfortable or anything.
Yeah, it seems a little
just too, like it's thin and tall at the same time. It's just weird. Like I said, these aren't chamfered well. I like the lock, the way they did the crossbar locks. Like they kind of have this angle to them, and they feel really nice when you disengage. The spring on it is dog shit. So it has this coil spring in here. That's your detent essentially. That they got rid of Omega springs, and it has this coil spring in here. So it's like non-existent. And I learned to flick it. You just kind of flick straight through the stud. And it works if you just fucking bust your finger up flicking through it. Like it's not bad. I think collectors and Benchmade fanboys are gonna like it, you know. You think this one's off center?
Just a touch.
It's fucking like rubbing out of the box. But it's not that bad. I actually grew to kind of like it a little bit. So I don't know. If somebody wants to spend their $530 on it, doesn't bother me at all.
I don't really care how people spend their money either. It's just that's all anybody wants to talk about, that knife. But it's like, well, what do you guys think about the knife? Like, how does it feel in the hand? How does it cut? Like, is it fun? Dude, does it feel good to carry? Probably feels good in the pocket.
Yeah, it's good in the pocket. It's razor fucking thin and sharp. This would be an excellent lightweight EDC knife, kind of like a slip joint. Like, you know, cutting apples, cutting some fruit and shit, like opening packages.
Can you bend the blade with your hands? Like, how thin is it? Just the blade itself. Can you put a flex in the blade?
Nah.
Okay.
It's not like Gunslinger.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
These will flex for sure.
Yeah.
What up, Randy?
Yeah.
Hey, Sean. Cool. Yeah, House of Blades is in DFW. They carry Jack Wolf. They carry a lot of cool brands, and they're super awesome dudes.
Yeah. I actually got an affiliate link with them. So what happened was I was going to go try to find one of these to review. And I was like, all right, I'm going to try to find it at like White Mountain Knives or somewhere I have a connection to and just borrow one, you know? And I couldn't find one anywhere. Here, I'll put their link. And I have a Lefty 10 code there. So you get 10% off it. House of Blades. There's exceptions like Benchmade and Jack Wolf, but a lot of the stuff you can get a discount on. And I couldn't find it anywhere. And then I saw a listing for House of Blades, and I was like, oh, fuck it. I'll just order the damn thing and I'll sell it after, right? Like I'll lose some money, but it was not a big deal. I get to review it. And oh shit, duh. Vero was talking about Magna Cut, not a bushing.
Yeah.
That's what it was. And I remember him talking about a prototype that he was doing. I remember now. So scratch the bushing thing. But yes, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a stab in the dark. And I'm going to hit up Chris because I talked to Chris before to get a cyborg jack out of their window or whatever, their shop floor. And I was like, yo, dude, any chance you would like send me this Narrows to review? And dude, I swear in 10 minutes I had tracking and affiliate link, like, and then he gave me a discount code. And I'm like, dude, it's sick. Like, it was just awesome. And they have a really good selection. So yeah.
I'd say if you're living in that area, like, yeah, just to have a brick and mortar knife shop with really cool shit in it is, you know, support those guys is what I'm trying to say. And even if like you get it $20 cheaper on Amazon, like who cares? Go buy it from them because you can go in there and try put your hands on everything. And I'm jealous for a knife shop that big. That would be amazing. The only knife store around here there's a gun store that's like a premier Microtech dealer. So they have like pretty dope Microtech selection, but you don't want to buy Microtech. There's not really anywhere to go. And this is Arizona. You'd think we'd have something.
Taylor Martin's favorite knife.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. I'll tell you what, I was on, but Best Damn EDC. He put up a video today with his Blade Show haul.
Yeah.
I had like 18,000 views the last time I saw it. And he bought a knife from me. And he said it's probably, he didn't say this is hands down my favorite, but he says it's probably one of my favorite knives I got at the show.
Was it a Gunslinger?
Yeah, he bought the gold one.
Okay.
So I was like, yes, that's a good plug. Listen, I don't know where the microphone is on this computer, but very satisfying.
I like the ting when it closes.
That's what I'm trying to get.
Can you hear it?
Oh, yeah. I just don't know where the microphone is on my computer.
No, I mean, like, can you hear it when I do it? Because
I
watched my video back. I couldn't hear it.
Oh, dude, I heard it in your video. I have my earbuds in.
Maybe that makes a difference.
It does.
Interesting. Somebody said the real question is, are you going to convert to locking knives?
No. Well, I have been carrying it in my leather sleeve, and I do like the form factor, and it's nice. Good night, Joseph. It's nice to have something different to play with.
Stopping by.
You know, for me, I just never carried my locking knives because I don't like pocket clips. It's not that I don't like pocket clips. I should say I wear shorts almost all year round that have slit pockets, and I do not like giving up a pocket, you know? And
that's why you gotta get these off the grid pants, man.
Nah, dude, I don't want to wear tactical pants.
They're not tactical.
Bro, I wear shorts. What do you have off the grid shorts?
I'm wearing them right now, dude. I'm gonna give you a fucking modeling job right now.
Give me a tour of your shorts.
Here, check this out, dude.
Mine are from what the hell do you call it? Tommy Bahama. I like
these
lightweight
off the grid, shorts. So they got the slit pocket on each side. It's made out of like, you know, shit. You can get khaki ones too.
What's that small bulge?
And it's got like, you know, meshy type pocket.
So where do you put a locking knife, dude?
So it's got a zipper right here too. I'm getting there, dude. So then it has these fucking sick extra pockets up here. It's meant for like mags, I think, but it fits your phone perfectly. So that's where I put my phone over here. And then I put like the sharpshooter I just put right here. And I'm lefty, so it's in my left fucking pocket. Bang. Perfect. Right-handed clip goes in right here. You can even just carry it in your back left like pocket too.
You don't feel that when you sit down at all?
You don't feel it, dude. I don't even feel the phone fucking here. It's amazing.
Well,
and then I still have back pockets too. These are, dude, they're game changers. I bought, like, I don't have any other pants now. I just have these shorts and jeans and khakis and shit.
Well, maybe I'll try a pair of those shorts, but I'm just particular, man. I don't like a lot of stuff in my pockets. I got keys, AirPods, phone, and pocket knife, and that's it. And my really thin wallet in my back pocket, which I pull out of there as soon as I can.
I don't even carry a wallet, dude. I just have a 2-card thing on my phone. I have a credit card and an ID. That's all I need. My phone basically pays for everything now.
I carry my driver's license, my CCW, my business credit card, my personal credit card. my health insurance card, my AAA card. Where'd you get the inspiration for the characters? Oh, the Pug. Any plans on selling slammers? All right, Earl. I'll answer your question. So,
Thanks, Earl.
Inspiration. The original inspiration kind of came from doing my interpretation of how the American slip joint companies used to package their stuff in cardboard tubes with like kind of Western themed or early 1900s, late 1800s artwork. And so I wanted to do something more modern. And then the company's Jack Wolf, and I wanted to have a main character that could be featured on all the drawings. And I didn't want him to be human because, I don't know, you can be more creative with like, you know, like a comic book character. So we came up with the werewolf character. And then what was the other question? Something about the slammers. At some point get in my Facebook group. I got a lot of people asking for a group coin, which would ultimately be a metal slammer. And I made like 1,000 of those orange slammers that I gave out at knife shows all last year. I had like 10 left. I cannot for the life of me find where I put them, and I don't lose shit. So they're somewhere. So those are floating around, but I do want to do a metal coin at some point for the Facebook group. I wear the same brand pants. You don't feel anything on the outer edge of the extra pockets unless you put something bulky.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I mean, you send me a link, Kev. Maybe I'll check them out.
They're not like stupid expensive either. Like they're
not
usually
so concerned about that. It's just I don't want them. I don't like cheesy looking pants. You know, like tactical. If they're meant to take a magazine, they're tactical pants.
Yeah, but they're like they do them in normal colors. Like I have red cayenne ones or whatever they're fucking dope. And these green ones are nice. You can also get like the khaki and brown and green like khaki style ones that do look a little more tactical, you know. But these don't. I don't think. Like I don't know. These don't even have like a zipper pocket on the side like cargo style or anything. There's 3 kinds. So you just find the kind that works for you and rock it. But that's all I own now because I got sick of like, okay, today I'm wearing these jeans. So I got to put this here and my phone here. And then today I'm wearing these jeans. So I got to like put it over here. Right. So I just bought, all I own is this brand of pants and shorts. They all have that pocket in the back, the 2 pockets. So my phone goes there every day. Locking knife on the left half side and then slip joint in the front left. Or vice versa. If I have a lefty clip knife, I put that in the front and the slippy in the back pocket. But you could just try with your regular shorts, dude. Just clip. If it's a right-handed knife, just clip it in your back left pocket against the outer seam.
That's where my wallet is, in my back left pocket.
Yes, you got to get rid of the wallet, dude.
No, not doing it. I got my system. It works for me. I can carry a knife in a pouch. I really don't need to carry 2 knives anyway. Like, it's redundant for me. So I'm going to carry one or the other. And at least I got a locking knife I can carry in a slip now. Because I created it and developed it. So it's like, yes, I solved my own problem.
That's the thing, Ian. It's not tactical at all. Like, it's not, to me, it's not meant to be tactical. Sure, like, they're advertising it for, like, dudes on the range who are holding all these rifle mags in their pocket. Like, sure, whatever. But we all know it's meant for a goddamn cell phone. Like, that's what they really mean.
Earl, the Facebook group is called Jack Wolf Knives Worldwide, and worldwide is one word. If you type it in the search, it should come up. And if not, someone can post a link. I'm tired of women's shorts that only have mockets instead of real pockets. Alice, it's funny you say that. There was a lady at Blade Show who I was talking to. We were talking about how to carry knives in pockets and girls' pants. She showed me the pockets on her shorts are like what are supposed to look like pockets. And essentially there were no pockets. And, you know, it seems like women have butt pockets, but they're always putting their cell phone back there. So you don't have a lot of good carry solutions for a pocket knife.
Yeah, go in the bra. Or
that's what she had. She had a little, like a little one on her bra strap that was like a little self-defense weapon. Now Finch has a competitor. I'm definitely in a different price point from Finch.
Yeah, and
but
they're just not. Steel bolster lock versus titanium just makes a huge difference to me.
I think as opposed to a competitor, I think it's a complementary product. But you know, it could be the kind of thing where, like, if you like Finch knives, but you want to spend a little more and try, you know, something
that's true,
has nicer materials and a thinner grind, then you'll like this.
Yeah,
you know, or
they're
if
also
you
more traditional, like Finch and Rosecraft are more comparable to me than Finch and Jackwolf.
Yeah.
Like, if anything's comparable, it's Pena's front flipper series. That would be the closest thing. But even that is not, to me, has no resemblance to this. I see zero resemblance. Those always have thicker fucking blades. They have the sort of top flipper thing. This is way easier to use for me. They're cool. I like a lot of them, but I've always wished, every time I've had one of those Pena's, I'm like, dude, why doesn't this have a hollow on it? Like, it's meant to have a hollow, and it doesn't. Like, why?
His stuff, you know, obviously, like, the DNA is there, you know, but I tried to make it as different as I could.
I don't really
like. In other words,
it reminds me of is the hardware.
I don't even mean that it reminds you, but they're both bolster locks. I guess that's at their foundation. They're both bolster locks.
Yeah, but like, so is a stout. Like, would you?
No, but I would say it's a bolster lock shaped like a traditional knife. That's the commonality. But he doesn't have front. He doesn't have middle finger flick.
He doesn't have thumb roll. Pretty well.
Yeah, I was playing with Austin's that he was carrying around. Dude, the action in that knife is killer.
Yeah,
who made that?
Production ones hopefully are going to be even better. Concept.
Dude, like, unbelievably good, the actions in that thing.
Yeah.
And I like the design.
What I want them to do is make the fuller like this one, where it's sharp and it catches. Like, there's such a difference in how that catches versus that. Like, it just doesn't
because it's because of the hollow grind.
I know. But it's also because they do the belt satin. Well, that's why, basically. But we need them to get that edge crisp. Like, I don't know how to translate that well. I'm trying so hard. So we're making the fuller slightly taller so that you can get a little more meat in there. But I compared these, dude. They're literally identical. Like, the fuller designs are the same exact size.
It's a millimeter from top to bottom.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They even look the same at the end and everything.
My first, I would have to go grab it. I don't know if I have it here. My first version of this actually had a different fuller. It was more like, it was taller, and it wasn't. I'm trying to think of the best way to describe this. This is like a half pipe. So it's like round along the bottom. This thing. But the one I designed first was like an empty pool, you know, like straight down, straight across the bottom. And you really got in that thing. But it was like too much. It was like too sharp. You know, it would rip your nail off sharp. But I thought this looked better and still got, you know, still accomplished it. I'll have to show you one of those prototypes.
But yeah, they got some similarities for sure.
I mean, no doubt. I mean, I'd say mine is more traditional knife looking and yours is more modern knife looking, but and different pocket clips.
I would love to get this finished, dude. I fucking love it. But I don't know. It's the CRK finish, essentially.
Yep.
And like, I got this eye mamba from Arnaud Bernard. It's basically the same.
What's the story? Like, his knives are super attractive. Obviously, they're. I don't want to say they're Chris Reeve inspired. That's not the right thing. But when you look at them,
they are. They said, like, they're friends with Chris Reeve, and they wanted to make a Sebenza. Basically, is what they said.
I'm not trying to call them out, but like, they obviously have the vibe.
Yeah, but it's not calling them out though, because they're like friends with Chris, and like, I think he helped them, or I don't know. Like, so it's not like an issue type thing. And they are different. If you handle them, they don't look identical. They just have some similarities. But like, they have this fuller that's amazing to flick, dude. Like, so good. It has a flipper and bearings. It's just, this is what I want a Sebenza to be.
Yeah, that's what they did.
You should check out their slip joint, dude.
They have one?
Yeah, Colin bought one at the show. It's called the Wrinkles, I think. I handled it. It's fucking great.
The Wrinkles?
Yeah, it's great.
That's funny.
It has a clip.
He might have showed me. I can't remember.
But you can put a filler tab in and then not use it. Comes with a slip, too. Which, I find that weird. Like, you have a slip joint, you put a clip on it, and then you provide a slip. And you have to buy a filler tab separately. Like, just make up your mind, kind of. You know?
Why would they don't provide the filler tab?
What?
They don't what? I had a bad signal break for a second. They do not provide the filler tab?
I don't think so. You have maybe if you ask for it, they'll give it to you. I don't know if you have to buy it, but I don't think it's like a standard thing. Maybe it's something they're just starting. Jim, this is a milled clip. This is the original prototype of the V2. And now it's broken. Shit, did that land right on my landed right on my flashlight, of course. Yeah, on this one we did a milled clip and a filler tab, but we're getting new prototypes where it's going to be the wire clip slots, but this clip is going to be made to fit in the wire clip slot. And then it'll come with this clip. And then in the hardware kit, you'll have a wire clip. So you can basically do whatever you want with it. And then it'll also fit Lynch and shit like that.
I feel like pocket clips are the kind of thing where you can't, it's not possible to make everybody happy with those.
No, I'm going to try damn hard though.
Well, by providing a wire clip and a milled clip, I guess that's as close as you can get.
Yeah, and then you can also buy a Lynch clip or a Rips Garage Tech clip if you prefer that. You know, the only downside is it's going to have the wire clip thingies over here and a screw probably.
Yeah.
I was talking to Colin about maybe trying to design a filler tab that goes into the wire clip slot. I don't know how that would work. I think it might just add more shit to it. The other option would be we just make it we could just do a Lefty if I can get enough Lefties to pre-order one. But I don't know. Or if we can just add some, like Best Tech is cool. They'll do like small batches. Apparently they'll do like 50.
A batch of 50 knives?
Yeah, like you don't have to do a full run. You just do 50. Like if you're doing an order already.
Oh, in addition to the minimum order quantity of a full run?
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
Yeah, it is. I mean, so that's a lot more feasible.
Let's say we order, you know, I don't know, however many of the stouts, we could just, you know, make 50 of them Lefties instead. I feel like that might be a good way to do it. Then you wouldn't even have to have the slot on this side. You could just have it clean. I don't know.
I mean, at some point, man, look, I'm lefty. And at some point, like, you've compromised, in my opinion, the aesthetic value of the knife with this. I'm trying to please everybody. What's the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, but
design choice.
For me, it's like I'm a lefty too, and I almost care more about the clip than I do the lock. So, like, if I can just have the clip on the left side so that I have the traction to flick and front flip and everything and carry it lefty, I don't care if the lock is right-handed. I'm used to right-handed locks. Like, I don't need a full lefty knife. I just want to be able to operate it.
So, and that's funny because for you, the clip has nothing to do with putting it in your left pocket and everything to do with having a place for your finger so you can play with it.
Exactly.
Which most people, I think, aren't thinking that way. I think most people asking for a lefty clip is they want to put it in their left pocket.
I don't know why. I mean, it does both things. So
That's true.
You know, maybe it's just kind of, yeah. Jim, you would have to get a clip from Rip's Garage Tech. I think they're the only ones that make a wire clip replacement that's Timascus or whatever.
Earl asked a question. He said, any chance you'll design a slip clip, maybe one with colored clips like on the Gunslinger? It's an excellent question. I have not wanted to compete with all the small leather crafters that are serving our community. You know, there's a lot of good guys. They work really hard. It's super competitive. They can't charge an arm and a leg.
But you could use one of them.
Well, that's different. But I don't want to like try to order something mass produced from China where I get like 500 of them and I can, you know, if I charge as much as those guys charge, I'd be making a killing on these things. And I'm not trying to be in the slip business.
Right.
So I just feel like I'd prefer people to deal with.
But not that many of them make clip slips.
Well, I know. And I think it's one of those things where not a lot of people actually buy them. It's like if you want to put this knife in a clip slip, doesn't make sense. Just use the pocket clip. You know, to put my slip joint in a clip slip, I struggle with understanding why guys want to do that also, simply because you still need two hands to operate the damn thing. So the reason that makes sense to me is I don't want it in the bottom of my pocket.
Right.
Okay, I get that. I just think we start talking about such a small sliver of people at that point. Like there are guys that make clip slips. You just got to find them and maybe you got to wait. I just don't think as many of them get sold. I think it's one of those vocal minority deals. God, the action on this one is really
I feel
good.
the same way about the milled clip that fits the wire clips. Like we're going to have them made for the stout run. And I was thinking we could just fucking order a bunch of them in different colors and shit and then sell them because they'll fit any wire clip knife basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm like, then we're kind of like, you know, taking business from like Lynch and Rip's Garage Tech and people like that kind of sell a lot of those wire clip replacement things. So it kind of gave me hesitation to do it because I'm not going to make, like, it's not going to make or break the business selling those clips.
Right.
So it's almost better to let them do it. But for me, the reason I kind of want to do it is that personally, their options aren't very good. Like, I don't like Lynch clips all that much. I think they work pretty well on budgety knives. But as soon as you put one on a more premium knife, I feel like, I don't know. They just don't look that good. Like, do I have one even? Yeah, here, this is one. Like, that's not really, to me, this is kind of similar to a wire clip. It's not really like a milled clip. Like, it's not.
Well, it's spring steel, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think it's titanium. But, like, does it make the knife look nicer, though? Like, they're both.
Yeah, mildly. And I think it's just a matter of preference.
But, like, then you look at something like this. Like, imagine this fitting the wire clip slot. That would look way better, right?
But I guess the question is, if a guy bought a knife with a wire clip, does he want a milled clip to fit his wire clip slot? Or are you?
Yes, a lot of them do because they buy it like our mash design. A lot of guys buy this because they love the knife design, but they don't necessarily, they're not necessarily wire clip guys. They're always the, oh man, I love this knife, but the wire clip. You know, those are the guys I would want to sell those to.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
It's certainly not a huge expense to experiment with it.
No.
Frankly, I like
my
no clip.
to
I don't
hang
have
with my change and keys. Am I the only one that likes them worn and patina?
No, man. There's a lot of guys who raw dog it.
I'm not that guy. I'm a slip guy for sure.
I have a couple that I dedicate to raw dog carry, but I do like a leather slip.
Guy Kev was talking about.
Yeah. And there's always a group of people who want something, but the question is there a market?
Right. Somebody
and you never really know until here's ultimately the thing, right, Kev? Like you intimately know like what's potentially missing in the market. Same way I saw the opportunity with these slip joints. And sometimes it doesn't matter what anybody else says to you. If you feel strongly that there's a demand for that, like go out and tell people why they need it. Show them, show them like, hey, check out how dope this is. And this is why, and this is what you can do with it. And this is why it's different than this. And you can make a market.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's what I was talking about with this knife. Somebody was
how'd
asking,
that pre-order go?
Yeah, so somebody was asking what the Divo knife on Urban EDC was. This is the Barley. It's our design. It's their knife. So it's the Urban EDC Barley. It's our design. I don't know. I don't really get updates on like how it's. I asked today, and they said it's like it's going or whatever. I forget what the words were, but it was like it's fine. This is the Lush. So this knife was born of this knife. So we designed the slip joint first, and then we wanted to try to make a locking version, and that's how we came out with the Lush. But the difference is the thickness. The Barley is 0.32. It's like stupid thin. This is like 0.47 or something. It's not thick. It's just a normal thickness. But yeah, like you were saying, making a demand. That's one thing I regret is when we designed this, it was back before, I think it was like right before we did the stout pre-order. It was like really early in Divo. And we weren't sure if we could sell a slip joint to people, especially the people buying our type of stuff. So we ended up licensing it. And, that's something I sort of regret. Like I love Urban and that's, the relationship's great. And I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I wish we had gone for it because like, instead of playing it safe, we could have went for it. And basically what you did was make a market, while we kind of were like, I don't know if I can sell that. Let's just license it. So I learned a lesson on that one. But yeah, this thing's sweet. And it's up for pre-order now. It's called the Barley over at Urban EDC. There's a link in the description to Urban EDC if you want to pick one up. But yeah, these came out sick too. I'm excited for these to come out. A little stronger spring, I think.
They're nice, dude. The one you sent me, I was very happy with it. And I do like the slim form factor. It's a really nice pocket knife,
Yeah.
Someone said, is the Gunslinger blade length about the same as a Feel Good? Adam, the blade length on the Feel Good is 3 inches. That is probably the best blade to handle ratio on anything I've ever done. The Gunslinger is 3 1/4. So the Gunslinger is definitely bigger in the blade and bigger in the handle as well.
Yeah, your blade to handle is fucking ridiculous on the Feel Good.
It's the best one I've ever done. And it's because you can bring that tip way down to the bottom. It's not even all the way to the bottom, but it's just good.
This knife is just so good.
I'm really happy with that one. It's funny the feedback I get about it because the most common feedback is, oh, dude, I thought it was going to be too small. And it's like, it's not as small
it's perfect
as it looks in the pictures.
This would be a fucking interesting locking knife, dude. I don't even know how you would do it.
I'd scale it up. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess
I don't know if you can. I got to scale it up, and I don't know if I could even fit all the stuff inside the bolster. So I'd have to stretch it. I'd have to stretch it wide.
I would just do the midnight instead,
Well, the midnight would be a lot easier for sure. But they're different.
The midnight fucking got me, dude. I don't know if you can see this fucking slice right here.
Oh yeah,
that was good. The fucking spine, dude. That was not the blade. Oh,
for real?
Yeah, I was doing. You'll see. I was doing the next 3 knives that came out, and I was trying to one-hand it, and I fucking literally sliced my finger on the spine. I was like, God damn.
You shouldn't be able to cut yourself on the spine. Do you want me to knock those edges down for you on that thing?
I did it right after, and it took 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But I didn't think I was just one-handing it, and I figured it'd be fine. Like on one of the other, I think it was the Little Bro. I did that too, and it's perfect after that.
It doesn't take much.
Yeah.
They just left. Every once in a while, they leave too much of a burr on those things. It's a conversation
but
I've
I
had.
think that's something you've addressed because
It is.
Yeah.
But they're making hundreds of them, and sometimes they're not like anything you make hundreds of. Not every single one is the same. So if there's like 2 nitpicks I have with my OEM, and the screw thing is, something you guys have drawn to my attention. So I'm not gonna. I've got to have that conversation with them still, because I think I've mentioned it before, but it's just gone unaddressed. I throw a lot of stuff at them, and sometimes things get lost in the
I know how it is.
But the spines now, if you guys noticed, the spines on this thing's chamfered everywhere.
Yeah, it's like smooth on it.
Yeah, and it works because of it still works. Like if you were to slip joint this thing,
but you don't need to slip joint it.
No.
So it doesn't really matter
unless some of the guys with less dexterity, they really can't thumb flip them. Like Steven, Patty, potatoes peelers can't thumb flip this thing to save his life. I just want
but
to
he
sit
could
down
slow,
and show him.
you can just slow roll this thing so easy.
Correct.
Yeah, because the blade is so light, you can have a detent like this that works really well, but still be able to just walk it out like that. I saw a review where somebody was like, "It's magic," and I'm like, "No, it's still light ass blade."
Yeah,
it's sorcery.
You know what would be a really cool video, I think, and for me anyway, is if you get in a position where you take apart a bunch of these knives, weigh the blades. Like, I'm curious, some of these knives that straight guillotine, bounce off your fingernail, how much do those blades weigh? Because people will say, "Oh, it's the action, it's the action." I think the weight of that blade.
Oh yeah, no, it's 100%.
Tremendous amount to do with that.
That's one of the reasons this knife, people really love the stout, because it basically just drops shut. And the reason for that is, look at the blade. It has a lot of weight out to here, right? So a lot of weight brings it down, and you don't need a lot on something this small to have that pendulum effect kind of take place.
Yeah. When you have all that meat up high and out towards the front, it just wants to boom.
Like even on the smaller version,
how much does that full-size stout weigh?
The original weighed 3.8. This one's got to be like 3.2. I mean, this has got to be light as shit, because we scaled it down big time. It feels like nothing. So my guess is this is around 3 ounces, 3.2, something like that. About the same as the blade. Blade's at 3.3 inch. So what is this weigh? 2.8 or something?
2.9.
Yeah. Yeah. If I compare them,
Dude, I swear I cut myself more with these locking knives because they drop down onto my thumb knuckle.
What do you mean?
Like, that's
something you learn.
And it's because don't have the same experiences with the slip.
Well, and then you end up, if you don't do that, you end up with this fucking nail with lines all over it. Is that Darla from Silence of the Lambs?
What?
That's the bad guy has a dog that looks like yours.
Oh yeah, it puts the lotion on the skin, or else it gets the hose again. This is Oscar. He's just turned 2.
Oscar.
And my wife was like, "Did Oscar turn 2?" I was like, "Oh, his birthday was yesterday." I'm like, we forgot to celebrate his birthday.
Yeah, kind of with the dog.
Felt guilty.
I don't know.
I know.
Because they don't really, at least ours don't have like legit birthdays, because they're mutts and we got them like as rescues.
Right.
You don't really know.
You want to know what I did to this dog yesterday by accident? I felt really bad. So our couch, it's got a recliner at one end. So like you can lean back and the thing goes up for your feet.
Yeah.
Well, I was eating ice cream and I like dripped some on my shirt. And so I like, got up real fast and tucked the feet thing in to go get like a paper
Oh,
towel.
he was
and
under
homeboy
there?
was under there. And I just hear like, roo, roo. And I was like, oh no.
Did you
I'm
lock
like,
him in?
No, well, I had the feet thing all the way down. I have no idea what happened to him under there. So I like quickly opened it up and went flying around the back to find him. And he was okay. But I was like, I could have broke this dog's leg or something.
Yeah.
And I've, for 2 years, it's not happened yet. And of course, you're always aware of it. When you're in the recliner, you're like, where's the damn dog before I tuck this thing up?
Yeah.
But I didn't think about it. I had to get up and get the ice cream off my shirt, and poor guy.
Yeah, it sucks, dude.
It sucks, man. He was not happy.
I think the Loctites, it cured, man. I haven't had it loosen up on me here.
All right. Now, there's another product. I don't know if you've ever tried it. It's called Vibratite.
Yeah, well, that's what I use. I use Vibratite's thread locker. But you mean the shit that you put on, then wait, and then put it in, the VC3 or whatever?
The rubber cement looking shit.
I've never tried. Like, I've tried it once, but I couldn't wait long enough for it to actually cure, I don't think. I don't know. I don't think that shit's good for knives.
It's you either wait before. So Vibratite, you put it on the fastener, and then you wait.
It's not Vibratite. It's Vibratite VC3.
Yeah, Vibratite's the brand. VC3 is the product.
When you say Vibratite, I think of my normal blue Loctite.
I'm talking about the shit that looks like rubber cement and has a brush.
I know what it is. I'm just saying I wouldn't call it Vibratite. I would call it VC3 or whatever. Otherwise, my brain doesn't.
Okay. So for your brain, I'll call it VC3.
Thank you. You tried it?
I've used it on firearms parts.
Right. That would make sense.
But I still just prefer good old fashioned.
You don't want to fucking wait to, like, what am I take the knife?
You got to wait one way or another, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I'm not going to take the knife apart and then, especially because I film 90% of them, I'm not going to take it apart and then sit there for 30 minutes talking while I wait for this pivot fucking cure or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't think it makes too much sense. Fucking super glue, baby. Yeah, what up, Ricky? What's up, Ricky? It's cracking.
Ricky in his house.
Yeah.
JB Weld.
I was talking to Matt from Urban EDC today about getting you one of these Barleys to check out. So if that doesn't happen, I'll send you this one if you want to check it out. But I think you would dig it.
Someone says possibly was already asked, but can we assume the entire Jack Wolf lineup will have a locking version? So, well, first of all, we got to see how the Gunslinger does. At any indication from Blade Show and what people are saying, should do good, right? So it gives me the confidence to do another one, maybe design another one or two. I don't want to go balls to the wall and do the whole line because there's always the whole like.
I think some of them won't even work.
Well, that's the other thing. I don't expect they won't all convert. So I have to sort of pick and choose which ones I think will convert. So it's and I'm going to sprinkle them in. You're not going to see me become a locking knife brand.
Sweet, Ricky.
Yeah,
dude, I would still like to see more slip joints than anything because, like I said in my video, I was honestly I was disappointed at first. Like, I really like the Gunslinger, and I actually, you'll see another one of these, but, but I was like, damn, I don't get that. There's just something you literally converted me, and there's just something about it. Getting the slip joint and breaking it in, the walk and talk, getting the slip from Troy. I think that's a big factor is like, I lost that like slip thing. I don't know, like the whole experience for me, I prefer the slip joints for sure. Not like you killed this and I'm not, like it's hard for me. I'm trying to not make this sound bad because it's not, it's great. But
you're just referring to your preferences. You're referring to your preferences, and it's okay. Like
3 to 1 would be cool for me. 3 to 1.
And well, I've had a lot of time to reflect on this. So like, think about when you have a band you really like, right? And they make a certain type of record, and then they go make something different, and you're like, I don't really like that record,
Right.
you know? And maybe it grows on you, but like you came accustomed to a certain type of creativity from that person. But you also have to think to yourself, like, well, that person, in order for them to be happy, they got to exercise themselves creatively differently sometimes. And also, maybe that record wasn't for you quite as much. Like maybe they're trying to reach somebody else with that record.
Yeah, of course.
You know? So I would honestly say, I'm not surprised if people who are really into my slip joints and are really into that product aren't feeling this one as much, because I didn't necessarily make it for that person. Right. Like I made this knife for the guy who is interested in my style, but just won't come off the fence for sure for a $300 slip joint, you know? And it's like, all right, I'm going to.
Then they're the guy who's like, oh, $350 for a locking.
Yeah. I mean, it's like,
those
whatever
guys, I can't.
But those guys will never be happy with anything I do.
Exactly.
Even if I had a $150 knife, they're going to be like, well, it's more expensive than a Rough Rider that's $75. It's like, whatever.
You still need to do the humpback, dude. I've been calling out the humpback every goddamn month, and it hasn't happened. That's the last one, right?
It's the last one. And I thought I've told you this before, but the humpback has to be re-engineered, dude. It's not coming anytime soon.
Oh, fuck.
It's the spring is
I remember
so
you saying
weak.
It had to be, but I didn't know it meant.
I haven't done it yet. I've been too busy, dude. I got to sit down and like redraw that whole knife, but try to fit it in the existing handle. I'm like,
so I'm gonna be waiting for the humpback forever. Damn.
Forever. It could be like a year or two, and I'm not just trying to throw you off the scent on that one. That's the real deal. I swear.
You're all about throwing me off the scent.
Usually I am, but I'm giving you some real data here.
No clue. That means there's no clues anymore.
No. Now it's just obviously repeats are coming, right? Either that or I'm going out of business. So the question is,
you gotta design some more shit.
Right. But like I got knives I still got half a year to go here.
Okay, so repeats are coming.
Repeats are coming. You know.
I'm guessing the sharpshooter's not next because you literally just did the gunslinger.
I'm not giving you any clues. I've already told you more information.
I can already tell you what I would think it would be. Obviously, little bro still needs to come too. And then my money would be on a midnight, just because that was your best seller, basically. If you look at it, in terms of popularity, I guess.
Yeah,
that would make the most sense to hit again. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go with midnight on the next one. Yeah. What about little bro? Yeah, I forgot that one. That one is also still coming.
Yeah. What's up, Gina? Good to see you. Part of this one was crap out of a hogbill. Who had a hogbill? Did you see? I was Israel at Arcane, his prototype. Donnie, we got to work on that.
Yeah, the Brian Brown one, that looked sick, actually.
Yeah,
I got to handle it too. It felt
was that a collab? Was that a collab with Brian Brown?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm sure he told me.
They were calling it. It was something crazy, like Mind Flare. It's called the Mind Flare.
Mind Flare. That was a really cool knife.
Hell yeah, Gina. Thank you. Oh my god, dude! I had a whole mini drama thing today on Facebook because I was selling these NJT coins. I love these haptic coins, and I had 15. So I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna sell some. So I grabbed a couple and I threw them up, and I put them up for a sick deal, and I added some extra shit in, and I dropped it in 2 group chats. I was just like, yo, I got these 3, bundle it. Who wants it, and I got 2 DMs separately, back to back, because there was 2 groups I dropped it in, and I guess 2 people. And this one dude asked me, he's like, so how much? And I'm like, I said, I had it already in there. I said $350. He's like, all right, I'll give you $310. And I was like, well, I'm already like, it's already like a sick deal. So like, you know, meanwhile, the other person was like, I'll take it. So I was like, all right, you're going to pay the $350? Sick. And I go back and I'm like, and then he's like asking what is it worth or whatever? Like, does it come with this? And I'm like, well, sorry, dude. Like, you know, somebody just offered me the full price, so it's sold. And the dude got pissed, dude. He's like, oh, you undercut, or you like back sold it on me. And he goes, fuck off. And I'm like, seriously? You just telling me to fuck off? Like, you gave me a lower price, and then somebody else offered full price, and you're gonna come at me?
Yeah,
it was fucking hilarious.
It's like, but first, like, I'll take it wins, not the first guy to come and kick tires and ask me questions and
like,
and haw.
If you want to negotiate, you take the risk.
Right.
That's the deal. You take the risk. You can't lock it down and negotiate the whole time. Like, that just doesn't work. So I'm going to dick around with you. You're going to keep trying to make me sell it for less, which is your right. And then maybe, you know, something happens. Your kid spills ice cream on you. You forget about it. And then I'm sitting there with my dick in my hand, and I could have sold it to somebody else.
Yeah.
You know?
That's just a person with bad etiquette.
Standard procedure for selling something online. Dude, that looks fucking hot pink.
Look at this. Yeah, because it is. Same batch.
Wow.
Same batch. So
one's not a prototype?
Same batch.
Okay.
Public service announcement, bazooka pink, ranges from this to this and everything in between.
That's crazy.
I pulled this one out as a example of the like bookends. Like, this is one end and this is the other. So there's not a lot of them like this, and they're all randomized.
It's kind of cool though that the accents, are blue, so it kind of helps. Even on the dimmer colors, you get that contrast.
Yeah. It's just, I wanted them all to look like this.
I thought it was Burger King. I get it my way. Yeah. Dude got pissed because then I went into the groups and I was like, yo, stay away from this guy.
Yeah, he needs to be an EDC like, go, no-go, bro.
I'm not doing that shit. But I was just like, I went back to where I posted it and I said, avoid this guy. Because he literally told me to fuck off. And then I was like, are you serious? And he's like, I'll make it clear. And he blocked me. And I was like, you fucking
And then did he get mad then that you went to the groups to tell people?
So I went to the group and I was like, yo, avoid this guy. And then I said, why? I said, I sold this thing. He wanted to give me less. Somebody else offered me full price. I took that. And then he told me to fuck off and block me. And then he went on and on in this group chat, like coming out. He's like, your feelings are hurt. Like, he kept going back to that. But he couldn't let it go. But my feelings were hurt. It's like, dude, just fucking grow up. You didn't get the shit. You're a little pissed. That's okay. You don't have to take it out on everybody. Like, you know?
Right. It's like, would other people be embarrassed for you because of how you are behaving? If so, then stop.
Yeah, but some of these people just don't know. Like, they don't have that sense.
No, their emotions get in front and start driving the car. And then they're amusing themselves at that point, but yet are still truly upset deep down. And then it's just an emotional mess.
And then they think they're right. And they think they're, like, making sense. Like, I don't know. Shit's fucking hilarious. But it's
just
like,
better him than you. So,
yeah, the gold looks good, dude. I was debating between gold and blue on the second one.
It's hard to pick. I struggle when people ask me what color they should get.
Yeah, there's no answer to that.
I really like, oh man, I really want to answer people's questions, but that one leaves me stumped.
This would go well with the pink one.
Yeah, well, that ano is
or
that
the
purple ano? Yeah, it's looking pretty much like this.
It's crystallized titanium, and then it's just, I guess, flamed. Or I don't know how they do it. It's acid or something. I didn't realize how close these were. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're pretty similar.
Yeah.
When Pina looked at this knife at Blade, he was doing this, and he's like, "I really like that detent." I was like, "Hell yeah," because that dude has made a lot of really nice knives, and I was like, "All right, good. That makes me feel good." Oh, and you know what he asked me to do? I'll tell you what really got me stoked. I got to follow up with him. He's like, "Send me your pattern. I want to make a custom slip joint out of that."
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, if you make me one.
I thought that's why he wanted it, to make you one.
Well, to make one, he wanted to make one. He has like, he said he has a like thin piece of Damasteel or something, and he looked at this knife. He was like, "Oh, I could use this material I have," and he liked the pattern, obviously. So I don't think he was trying to make me one. He was just going to make one, and I was like, "Well, if you make one for me too."
Yeah, come on.
I don't really care if he does or doesn't, but it'd be cool.
Come on, man. No, Donnie, don't worry about it, dude. If it's Ben's, it's yours.
That's right. That's right.
I'm not a pink person. Well, yeah, I mean, you're white. You're not pink, so you are correct, Al. You are.
I
correct.
like pink. I like, I used to have to wear a suit for work back in the day, like dress up.
Fuck that shit, dude.
Oh man, it's tough. But I had like pink button downs, and they're just nice, man. They look good.
Yeah, pink is nice. If
You gotta
it's
be
the right
confident to
pink,
wear it.
not salmon, but like
It
pink.
can be salmon, it can be bright pink, like all of it. I like
bright.
it all.
Next
like
is
it
the watch collection. I could see a Jack Wolf's watch. I can see that.
Dude, you know what? I've honestly thought to myself, it would be super fun to try to design a watch, like lay out the dial and the case and everything. But it's like, man,
I'm more of a pen guy. We want to go for a pen first.
Certainly a lower barrier to entry with a pen.
Well, I just don't like watches. So I have no interest. I don't know if Colin does, but we already have a pen design. We just have to do it. It's like everything.
Exactly.
Way too much shit, dude. He sent me the drawing for the nip slip. Dude, it looks fucking ridiculously good. I can't wait for that. Nip slip, baby.
I received last week's live giveaway package today. Blown away with your generosity. Thank you kindly. Appreciate what you bring to the knife community. Lefty does bring a unique perspective to the knife community.
Yeah. Dickhead's perspective.
One that changes and evolves over time.
Let me show the nip slip.
Dude, my favorite video ever is, I think you put it up, which was cool because you were making fun of yourself. But when you were like, the moku tie and the shit tie and the
dog shit pie.
Yeah, dog shit pie. I thought that was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, now I fucking love that shit.
Now you got Zerk blasted DLC coated flashlights.
Hell yeah, son. All right, let me show you the nip slip, dude. I'm excited about this. Oh, I gotta get it though. There it is. All right. Check this shit out.
Nip slip.
I don't know if you've seen our nip design, but we have a nip design that's locking, has a flipper and everything. It's a little micro knife, basically. And so we were like, well, we got to make a slip joint, call it the nip slip. So that's what we're doing. This is it right here.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's a little bit like the barley and the lush, but kind of shrunk down a little bit more, I guess.
Wedge. Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
He fucking killed it on this. And I love the inlay.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be sick.
Colin, I'm a little nervous about how far that center screw is from the pivot for your action.
How far? Wait, which screw?
That's the slip joint, right?
Yeah. You're talking about this screw?
Yes, your distance to the pivot.
You want it closer or farther?
Well, the closer it gets, the stiffer that action gets.
Oh, all right. Well,
A
then
good-
we can move it up.
A good rule of thumb is if you take 100% of the distance from the pivot, from the center of the pivot to the bottom of the spring, you want to be like 50 or 60% from the pivot. So you can go like past the halfway point some.
So like right here-ish.
Yep. Now it gets challenging because the farther up you push that thing, the closer it's going to get to the cutting edge. So that's the challenge in designing these things. But if you're using a stop pin, which quite sure you are, you can cheat it because you can get the edge right next to the damn spring.
So, hold on. Pull it down.
Yeah, that one looks to be about between 50 and 60% from the pivot, doesn't it?
Yeah, so maybe he can try to use this as a platform or something.
Just move the center pin.
Because the blade is this. The blade's very similar, so it should fall close to the same distance.
Yeah, you have the if you're using a stop pin, you can get the blade real close to the. Thank you, Ben. I wanted to run details down by you. Yeah, Colin, just send me a picture of the guts, like with the scale removed, and I'll call you and we could talk about it. But yeah, just fix that, and I'll save you the headache of getting a prototype with a spring you don't like.
I guess you could put it under the inlay, but the problem is at least on that design, the inlay is going to be glued, it looks like. So
you don't want to do that if the inlay is glued.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you're going to have screws in the inlay like mine. I think it looked fine the way it was. I don't think you need to hide it. You can go either way. It looked good either way, but I think it looked good. It was tasteful.
I actually like when you have like a how did I no, it's still okay, hold on.
But I love that design.
When you have like an inlay that kind of goes around a screw, I actually kind of like that look.
I agree. And it'll still look good if you move it up.
It'll still work here.
Yep.
Yeah. So
and I like the pivot collar, and I like the cutout. What would you call it? Like a relief for your finger.
Yeah.
That's really, it looks, the lines are money on that thing, man.
So it's based off of our nip design. Let me see if I can get you that.
It would still look good without the finger choil, but I know that's kind of part of your guys' aesthetic too.
Yeah, we love the choil.
Yeah.
And it's gonna make it like actually fit your hand because it's a small knife.
Okay, what's the handle? What's the length of the handle?
I never know the handle, dude. The blade is, I think, 2.5, 2.25.
Colin, tell us how long the handle is from top to bottom. Is it small like the Kvist?
Yeah, that was kind of
the inspiration.
Well, no, the inspiration was our nip that we already had.
I guess the font, like the size, like the target size.
But having the Vanish made me think it would work.
Yeah, because the Vanish is smart because it's tall from blade well to spine.
You know what I mean? Fucking design. Trying to find the
your Brave rolling through your picture library.
Yeah, are you actually seeing this? Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, we're all seeing that. I'm like, when are we going to see a picture that we are not supposed to see?
I don't have pictures of things people can't see. Just like my kid and shit.
Well, I don't know, something like, take a picture of like a scratch on your back or something, or like someone texted you something.
Yeah, fuck you guys. You got to see that shit. Come on, it's got to be in here.
You better have erased my nudes, bro. It says B.
Yeah, those are gone, dude. Those are gone. I think I just had to go further back, honestly. But now it's going back like to fucking May and shit. Come on. I'm going to have to hunt it down. I got an idea.
Colin, not overall length, close length. Is it less than 3.5 inches is kind of what I'm curious about.
All right.
This dog is tired.
Here we go. Seriously, I literally just hit add to photos. Where are you? Where are you?
While Kevin struggles, is there any other questions in the chat? What'd you guys carry today? We didn't even ask you guys that.
All right, here we go.
Chat's
So this is the locking version. That's
Right
what it's
on.
based off of.
Yep, I see the resemblance.
Yeah, so instead of the hole, we figure it's better to just have like a long pool. Doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you don't need this kind of area right here because this is what hides the flipper tab that you can't see right now.
Where we can't see your mouse. Like, what are you pointing at?
Pointing at the hump right above the, like, in the middle of the handle, right behind the choil. The hump.
Oh, yeah.
That's where the flipper hides.
Okay.
So this one's in production. We're doing these top two. The bottom one we didn't do. So the top two. And then we have 2 dealer exclusive ones.
Is the
titanium.
Was that purple haze? What was the other one?
So they're camo carbon. So it's purple and lavender and then black pearl.
What do they call the purple and lavender? Does that have a name?
I think that's what he calls it.
Oh.
I can look it up though. I know that now that he own everything now or something?
He does. Yep.
Now it's like the names or whatever he calls them.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll get standardized finally.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Close length is okay, 3.25. Yeah, it's going to be a nice little. I want one.
And if it, if it
I like
does well,
I like the slip joint better. I'm not saying I don't like the other one, but just from if I had to pick one, I'd take that little slip joint. But I'm a slip joint guy.
Dude, the nip though, the nip is fucking sick.
I'm not saying it's not. Don't get me wrong. But I just like a nip.
We got a great response on that one at the show too.
Oh, you had a proto?
We have 4 protos of the locking one.
You didn't show it to me. Do you have one at your house?
I don't. Colin has it.
Oh, I'd love to see it.
We sold 3 of them at the show.
You did? That's funny.
Yeah, well, we didn't. We're only doing one of the versions that we had prototypes of. We're actually doing like those colorways.
Right.
So we were like, whatever. And it's in production, so we just need one as a reference,
Autumn Wind said JK V4 and the Feel Good, which hasn't left my pocket since I received it. That is awesome. What's a JK V4? Someone school me on that.
It's a something obscene company.
Oh, okay.
It's that flipper he's popular for. I didn't like any of the finishes on the V4s.
Best Tech Slasher Classic SD and Mini Saga. My keychain. Very nice, Neil.
Carried the
Tempest Microburst and Crispy Donut Hansen. Very nice. Samson wants to know about your dealer exclusive nips.
So there's a murdered out one. So it's titanium handles and then all murdered out and black wash on the blade. So black PVD handle, hardware, black wash blade.
Black.
And then the other one is the one prototype that we ended up doing the run-in. It's a stonewash tie with blue collar, backspacer, clip, and then stonewashed S90V. So those are – I don't know if I should say who they're with. I don't know if the dealers want to say that or – I don't know.
You can't unsay it, so maybe just don't, unless you're 100% sure.
I don't think it matters, but I'll leave it at that.
Oh, Matt's got his K9. Very cool.
Ninja nip, exactly. Ninja. Yeah, they should be like they'll be like 185, and they're in S90V. So
nice.
Yeah.
Who made those?
Yeah, Kubi. Yeah, dude, they're fucking killing it.
Did Kubi make Jim's? The Kaladin?
No, it's Tuya.
Okay. I can't keep them straight, man. They're always these like one word, sometimes silly names.
Try working with all of them. We're trying to narrow that window down. So
did you want to hear something crazy? someone in my Facebook group reported it. A twill carbon fiber canine went for $400 on eBay.
Awesome.
Or over 400. I was like, damn, you know?
Yeah,
of course.
good,
I think it's cool.
That's good. So only
still looking for the Venom.
There's 4 versions. There's the 2 titanium dealer exclusives, and then there's the 2 I showed you in camo carbon with belt satin. Those are going to be direct through us. Sorry, what were you saying?
Well, so Big Jimpin's looking for a dark matter gold Venom, and I do not remember if
great name.
Is there one at? There might be one at.
Oh, you
House
mean that one at
Blade.
DLT? No. Remember there was like randomly that one pimped out Knife Modders one?
There was a couple left over from that Christmas special. I don't know if those if they pulled them and they didn't sell and they decided to put them up. They're not there.
I think they took them to Blade Show and they held them for Blade Show and they didn't sell. So then they threw them on the site when they got back. That's what interesting.
But you would have thought someone at Blade Show would have came up to me and told me that they had those there. Like no one reported that to me. But Big Jimpin,
I didn't even know DLT was there.
They were there. I sat down and did an interview with them. I haven't seen it yet, but it's got to be somewhere. 14 hours, baby. They've got, the last time I checked, the only thing they had in stock was
Feel Good,
I think,
pink.
Black. They had a pink and they had a black micarta low drag. I don't know if.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
Yellow Dark Matter.
That's what it was. And that Javelina popped up, but wasn't there before. So I don't know where that thing came from.
Return or they found it in the warehouse.
Yeah, exactly.
That kind of shit. Dude, guys, these 2 right here, I mean, I like the Javelina too. These are 2 of my faves right here. Might be my 2 favorite. The Feel Good, man, is just ridiculous. Love the low drag.
You know, DLT limits 1 to customer too. Like when you go to their website, you can't add more than 1 to the cart. So I can never figure out how many they have left.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, because you use that trick, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I know how many they got, which other people aren't privy to that information. But I
bet you there's a third-party app you could use to determine what's in stock at places.
Well, it would just be a bot that scrapes the data.
Hey, Ben, who made the Gunslinger?
The OEM. The same OEM who made the slip joints.
Who's the OEM? Apparently it's Riot, dude, according to what's his name? Taylor Martin.
Yeah, he thought he's whatever.
I don't think it's Riot.
You've seen enough Riot knives to know it's not Riot. And have you ever seen this dark finish from Riot ever?
Yeah, but I assumed you asked for it.
They don't finish titanium like that, I don't think.
But the reason I know it's not Riot is they would never be able to hold a schedule like you asked for.
Exactly, dude.
It's impossible.
Like if they were doing that for me, there's other people who buy a hell of a lot more knives from them than I am buying right now. So there's
like Sharp by Design is always complaining about how they're late on this or like shit finally shows up or whatever. Like there's no way you would even be able to.
No.
We know the slips are from Riot.
They are from Riot.
But I think that's it when it comes to that. So
that is it.
Somebody the other day said Best Tech, and I was like, why are you saying Best Tech? And he was just like, I don't know, whoever makes them. And I was like, oh, okay. Just throwing shit out there, apparently.
And we've talked about this before, and I think it's important for people to understand Best Tech doesn't make anything.
Yes, we know. But it's not like.
So all I'm saying is,
you just say they're an OEM, but I know
but they're not. But I guess for all intents and purposes, my OEM might make knives for Best Tech. I don't know what they do, and I don't know who Best Tech buys knives from because they certainly don't make them.
Best Tech.
No,
thanks.
If it was Best Tech, I'd have to charge more because Best Tech charges up.
That was my thinking too. Is you'd have to charge more.
Like my packaging is
shit down here.
Yep, you're narrowing shit down. Blue Creek had a blue Dr. Feelgood this week, and so I wanted to get it. I was waiting for tomorrow to get the Gunslinger. I decided to just get the Feelgood too, but it sold yesterday. Jason, there are some blue Feelgoods out there at other dealers if you're still interested in that knife.
Samson, my guess would be Ben, but he can say it's the OEM.
You know, at this point, even if they would allow me to say,
you would.
I'm much more comfortable not saying for several reasons. Like,
dude, I wouldn't want you to say, because the first thing I would do is fucking go there and
you and
everybody
else. But the other thing too that I've noticed is you can't have a preconceived notion about my knives based on the reputation of the OEM. You are judging my knives based on the merit.
The price is a big deal with that.
Yeah.
If I had a slip joint made by Kubi and sold it for $300, people would not buy it. They would be fucking appalled.
Exactly.
So not knowing helps you in that sense.
It does. It just lets people judge the knives on their own merit,
which they're fucking really good.
Right.
which is part of why it's less of an issue than I think it would be for someone else. Because there's no question that it's good. It's just who made it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Another reason I figured out, or I think that it's not Riot, is it doesn't have a pass-through detent hole.
Is that what they do?
They do that on most of the knives, unless I guess somebody sends them CAD and specifically asks not to do it. But having a pass-through detent hole to me is better, because then shit can't get stuck in the detent hole. It goes right through.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, but I didn't know, maybe on your design, because of how close it is to is it the stop pin track or the...
It's very close to the stop pin track.
It's real close to something. Maybe you can't drill all the way through for some reason.
You can put a...
It'd be more dangerous to do that or whatever. That was one other thing I wanted to ask you about. Did you consider that at all? Like how close the pivot gets to this corner right here?
Yeah.
Because that can be like a fracture point if it's too close.
All the farting around with the prototypes, it hasn't happened. You know, they didn't advise against it.
Okay. So it has been on your mind.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude. I mean, yes.
Okay.
Yes. And at the end of the day, this is not a tactical knife. I don't expect people to be beating the shit out of these things.
Yeah. I don't think it would be an issue. I just want to
and if it proves to be, I mean, I'm praying it doesn't, right?
I don't think it would.
If it proves to be, I could re-engineer this.
I'd never actually thought about it. The reason I initially thought about it was because somebody brought it up on our original stout design, not this one, but our original one, the space there. I think it was Brian Nadeau that mentioned that.
But if you think about this too, Kev, it's close. Where the screw head is not, the bore is not that big all the way through.
I know what you're saying.
So like the pressure is
being a 1/8 pivot. Yeah.
There's plenty of meat around that 1/8 pivot hole.
It's just like all the shit you have to think about and move around and dick with to make knives work, man. Like the stuff you were just talking about on the slip joint, I had no idea of some of that stuff that you have to worry about, you know?
That's what was enticing for me to tackle this project. I started this after Blade Show last year. I was just so charged up, you know, about everything. And I was like, okay, what am I going to do for next year at Blade Show? How do I make a big fucking splash? Well, you know, this was the logical answer. And then it was like, okay, can I even do this? Like, do I have what it takes to do this? I like to challenge myself, I suppose. And I did think about doing a lock back, but I was like, it's not a big enough step. You know, I'd rather take the leap and maybe come backwards at some point.
I've talked to Colin about it for a lock back. I want to do one that has slip joint walk and talk. So like you don't have that weird, like the thing I don't like about lockbacks is they're just closed.
That's how they're supposed to feel.
What?
They're supposed to be a light spring tension and then click.
Yeah.
And then a super satisfying click.
But what I want it to do is you disengage it and then it has a half that it pops to and then snaps down. So it'll be like literally, I think I had a Kubi in that had a half stop.
Okay. I think the only challenge you'll have there is I think it's going to potentially be hard to disengage.
Well, that's why you got to put it in a spot where your hand as a slip joint person would land. So I would put it right here where like my ring finger or middle finger would be able to push it up and then I could click it. So like you don't even have to make an adjustment. You're literally just doing, it's just walk and talk like a slip joint, but you have a lock. You know what I mean? Like if I push right here, right?
I know exactly what you mean. I
then
don't.
boom.
Have you seen what the inside of a traditional lockback looks like what the guts look like? I just don't know.
Not recently, but yeah, I mean, I've seen.
There's like two prongs, and then there's like a spring.
Yeah.
So
it would take some. It would take some designing, obviously, but it's just an idea I had. I think would be cool because I know that there's a lot of people that would probably really enjoy the walk and talk of a slip joint, but just can't get over the non-locking part. So either that where you have like a little lock back right here where you push it and then it lets you pop it up, or I was thinking you have some kind of like just like a pin design, so you could just have a pin that pops in here and makes it locking, or like a button like right here that you push, it pops a little bar into the spring between the, so that the blade can't close, and then you can like pop it back with this finger or something. I don't know how it would work, but some kind of locking like knife that has walk and talk essentially.
Yeah. That's I don't know. It really hasn't been done.
I don't know how it would ultimately work, but
Gina asked a question. I'm going to answer it. She said, hey, if I want to get a knife designed by an OEM, what do I need to do? I can conceptualize look, but I don't know CAD or anything. So I think you're talking about getting a knife made by an OEM, because ultimately you would have to provide a basic design, but honestly, you could sketch it out on paper. And KC draws on paper, so he can probably speak better to how it converts. But the fact of the matter is, the more accurate you can be with your drawing, the better chance they have to get you what you ultimately want, because go ahead.
That's what I've been talking to Colin, but he's learning CAD now. And one of the things I was talking about with him last night is like, if you look at the guys who are very good with CAD and are very detailed, you look at Sharp by Design, you look at Knoll Knives, you look at Ben, these guys will get the OEM exactly what they want. The screw is placed exactly where it should be. Like you have all those details dialed in. And then what you end up with is a much cleaner, like it's hard to explain. It's just for me, I know I look at it, I'm like, yes, this is just more dialed in essentially than if you gave them a drawing and were like, hey, I want this knife made. So there's like levels to it. A napkin drawing versus like, even a super detailed sketch. And then if you go back and forth with them and really dial it in, you could get close. But
there's how much you want to leave up for their interpretation.
Exactly.
When I provide a CAD drawing, essentially, I leave them no room for interpretation. Essentially none. I give them no room for interpretation. They may modify something for ease of manufacturing, but it's not going to, like when I originally set up that knife, I had the stop pin in the blade, and then a track in the titanium. Yeah. But they don't want to make it that way. And you know what? I'm not going to fight them about it. That's
not that big of a,
it's 6.5 a dozen, really, so that kind of thing. Like if you want to reinterpret that, like if you're telling me you're going to do a better job making it that way, then okay. Like I'm not stubborn, but that didn't change the look or the construction of the knife.
The small details, like
no, it's not like they reshaped my handle or they didn't put a chamfer where I didn't know there needed to be one. But we're kind of on a tangent. Gina, listen, this is what I would tell you. I just had this conversation with someone else. The easy part is getting a knife made. It's actually the easy part. You'd create a napkin drawing. They make a 2-dimensional drawing and a 3D drawing. You go back and forth. You pay money. You get a prototype. You send them money. You get a batch. The hard part in this game is getting them sold. That's the hard part. So how are you going to sell 300 knives? Like, I don't even, the question is, well, but then what are you going to do?
I'm just like, what's the goal there, Gina? Like maybe she just
there is no sense in having an OEM
I mean,
do
it's
a
basically
project
like
for you.
getting some custom knives of your own design. I mean, it's not.
Well, if you want to pay the $1,000,
But usually what happens is anybody who says that's what they're doing, you put so much effort into it. By the time you get them, you're already your balls deep. You want to sell them. You know what I mean? So
right. So I guess ultimately, I don't think there's any reason to spend the time engaging with an OEM, paying prototype fees
right.
just to get yourself 4 or 5
In that
custom
sense,
knives.
what I would do is I would design it and then try to get Kaiser to license it or somebody to license my design.
That's different.
So I don't have to be financially responsible and or deal with promoting and all that shit. That's the route you take if you just want to like express yourself and get your design out there and all of that. That's a good route to take, is to get somebody to do,
And in that case, you're going to want to spend the $1,000 to $2,000 to get prototypes made. Because if I'm trying to shop a knife if I'm trying to shop a design to one of these major manufacturers, then doing it on a sketch is like, that's not going to, it's going to be a tough sell.
A lot of people.
If you walk with a napkin sketch to Artisan, like,
dude, Kaiser has a whole series now where they're trying to do one a month. Like they're all in on that shit.
Well, you know better than me.
Not every OEM is going to do that, but it is easier if you have a knife already. But then you got to look at investment and everything, just because you're going to spend $1,000 on prototypes and then you might make a couple $1,000. Like,
yeah, I mean, how much money are you going to make on the licensing deal?
I would say the question is what she wants to do.
Yeah.
But if the question is, how do I just get it done? You draw it to the best of your ability in the best platform. CAD is the best option. Next best option is like super detailed rendering with internals and shit like that. That's what Colin does right now as he's learning CAD. He just basically like makes a Illustrator.
Doesn't like Photoshop or Illustrator.
He basically does like an Illustrator CAD file almost. It's not as detailed, obviously, but it's damn close. Has all the internals, where we want everything. But there's people who literally send a hand sketch, and that's fine. She says, no, I want to sell them. Okay. Then, you got to just get the best detailed thing you can. If you can't do CAD, then get your design on paper and then work with somebody who does CAD and have it done. Or hit the OEM up and send them the sketch, and they'll do the CAD for you. Not all of them, but like Riot, you need CAD, but a lot of the OEMs, you could literally just send them a sketch and they'll work on it from there.
Yep. They'll send you back a 2-dimensional drawing and a 3-dimensional drawing. There's free viewers you can use to look at those files. It's better if you have Fusion 360, which you can get free for the first year as a small business. And then
really, we should know that, because I think we're paying for it.
Yeah, you get it. Nick Rogers taught me that. So Gina, you get drawings back from them. You get drawings back from them, and then you make comments, and then you perfect the drawing, and then you usually pay the prototype fee up front, because that's prototype and engineering. So you pay the money, you get drawings, you perfect the drawings, you give specifications for your prototype, what steel, what handle material, what finish on the blade, what finish on the handles, inlays, what material for the screws, what finish on the screws. You got to give them all that. And then you get prototypes in the mail, 3-4 months later or whatever. And then based on your prototypes, you're kind of at a fork in the road. On one direction, it's these things are perfect, let's approve them. Unlikely. Another direction you can go to is, okay, these are almost perfect, we just need to change X, Y, and Z, but it's not material enough for you to send me a new prototype. So in that case, you want them to update the drawing with your changes and send you a revised drawing to approve, because when the production models come, they better match that drawing that was agreed upon. And then the third fork in the road is, shit, I need substantive changes to this prototype. I need prototype version 2. Some OEMs will charge you for prototype version 2. Some will push back. They don't like making them. But ultimately, making something in a production batch that you are not certain of is always a risk. And so, but ultimately, you'll approve a prototype, and then the next step is to fund the batch, and they'll take anywhere from 30 to 50% down. And then the rest is paid upon completion prior to shipping.
Yep.
And some will prepay the taxes and some don't. But at the end of the day, you're responsible for all the costs to get them to you, whether they bake them into the price or not. Does that all make sense?
Yep. Basically, just start doing it.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, the hard part is not the knife part.
It's selling.
It's the marketing and the sales and the customer service and building trust and building a brand. That's the hard part. Yes, Smoky Mountain Knife Works sells my stuff, Alice. And then someone said, let's see, just do what most knife designers do. Just do a pre-order and don't use any of your own money and tax the hell out of them and then sit back and bitch because you're not making enough money.
There you go.
It's really not happening as much as it did during COVID. That's for sure. Like if you've noticed, there's a lot less pre-orders.
Really?
I think so. It seemed like there was one every damn week for a while.
I guess that's true.
And, dude, they've slowed down. I think guys are not having the same success with them, so they're just not as many.
Maybe.
Am I going to the rep days in October? I don't know yet, Alice. I want to. Smoky Mountain Knife Works does a fall festival, and I got the invite. It's at their property, and you can bring knives to sell or not. Just it's like a hangout. It's like a whole event. And I would love to go to Tennessee. I've never been there.
James, so maybe, are you saying you don't want to pre-order a Stout V2? You don't want to pre-order? I like pre-orders to know what you need to order.
Look, at the end of the day, it's just an option for the consumer. If people don't want to pre-order something, they won't do it.
I'm a very big proponent that if you do a pre-order, you need to give them an incentive and a reward for it. Like, if we do a pre-order, you're getting a pretty big discount for doing it. Like, when it bothers me when people do pre-orders and it's at full price and then it comes in and retails the same price. Like, why did I give you my money for 9 months? I could have paid the same thing and waited, you know?
Yeah.
That's when it bothers me. But if you get like $50 off, shit, you know? Damon and Kay gone. Oh yeah, they're gone with Kaiser. I heard that was happening. I didn't know that was happening today.
Josh Wheeler, what's up, bro? He asked a question I forgot to answer. He said, "How about a midnight with an Osier kickstop flipper?" So someone schooled me on this, but isn't the kickstop, wasn't that invented by someone else and you got to license a kickstop?
Lee Williams, yes. And all the licenses, like it usually goes through that Steel Addiction guy. So there's like 2 other people involved, and I don't know. I've never seen a kickstop with another deployment method, so I just don't know if it would work.
I don't even really know. Does the flipper stick out the back in the closed position?
Yes, that's how you use it.
Right. Okay. So then, what's special about it when it's open?
So the way it works is the flipper tab is essentially also the stop pin. Oh. And it's kind of combined with a stop pin, sort of. And then when you pop it, it's on a little pivot of itself, right? It has its own pivot and little phosphor bronze washers, like tiny ones. You flip it, the flipper tab comes down and folds as the blade comes out. It folds down into the handle and ends up being flush. So you would see, essentially, it would look like this was extended, this part.
Got it.
Or you could imagine a line right here, and this was this bottom half was the flipper tab.
Yeah.
And then when you close it, that bottom half kind of pops back up as the blade comes in. It pushes it back up, and it sits back up. And then you pop it, it comes back in flat. And the flipper tab is always back here. It doesn't travel on the blade. It's not connected to the blade.
Right.
So, It's a
On
hidden
mine,
flipper design, essentially, like hidden when open.
right. And I guess the part for my preferences is that having the flipper tab sticking out in the back in the closed position would be the hang up for me.
Right. And that's not true, James, because I've handled a ton of them, and some of the Chavez 229s have lighter detents. So you could easily reverse flick some of those. I just don't know if it would actually work. I don't know if the detent brake is tied to the flipper tab being like moving. You know what I mean?
I just can't imagine something that I'm trying to get to look like a traditional knife.
I know, James. I was just
sticking out the back.
God,
that sounds good.
Self-deprecating. That's how I roll, bro. So I'm definitely pre-ordering this stuff. All right, so you don't hate pre-orders. You just hate some. No, I know what you mean, dude.
That's a fair criticism, right? I mean,
I think a lot of people do pre-orders expecting it to like do really, really well. And like, you know what I mean? Like in my eyes, Colin and I, like, yeah, we did very well with marketing and everything when we did the stout because it was everywhere, like on every YouTube channel ever when we did it. But like, I also look at it like the community fucking gave us, like, they gave us a gift, you know, like they started this company for us by funding that knife. And we've tried our best to take the stout pre-order and turn it into a knife company and not just like constantly ask for more money, spend the money, and then ask for more. Because that's a lot of times what you see is these guys do a pre-order. They take all the money that's not related to production and they spend it, pay themselves, whatever, and then they need to do another pre-order right away because they don't actually have more funds that they're folding in. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They're basically just taking a payday every time they do a pre-order instead of trying to like build that up to where you don't have to do that, which is our goal. But on the other end of that, we do so many projects that like we have to do a pre-order every now and again just to get like a more expensive knife out there. Or we'd have to just, you know, chill out, let some projects hit, and then, you know, run it. So it's just kind of a matter of how you want to do business. I'd rather keep more things up in the air and keep projects rolling and have to do a pre-order every once in a while for the time being. But people who ask for a pre-order on every model, it's like, well, what did you do with the profit? Like, you just did a pre-order, you sold 500 knives for $380, right? They probably cost you 180, 200 bucks, whatever. Where does all that profit go? Because the next model you're asking for a pre-order again. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I think people take issue with it. Cause it's like, it's clear that money's just going to paying for them. Like that's their, you know, they're just taking that money out and using it to, which is fine. Like they sold it. That's up to them.
Well, ultimately the consumer has to, it's
exactly.
It's a risk of their money thing. So it's like, okay, if you're going to do pre-orders every time and I really like your knives, okay, fine. But first of all, like if you deliver when you say you're going to deliver, that gives me some comfort. But do I trust you that you're not going to take my money and run? You know,
what happens if something goes wrong?
That's what I mean.
Can you fix it? Or are you like already spending all that money and then it's like you're just banking on shit going right? You know, I don't know. It's a very interesting thing, and I personally don't really want to police anybody. Like, it's your business. If that's how you want to go about it, do pre-order after pre-order, and just, you know,
as long as the terms are clearly,
and the customer's paying if they're buying them. Like,
I mean, at the end of the day, you're not getting a knife for free. You're going to pay for a knife. Either you pay the money and you get it in 3 to 5 days, or you pay the money and you get it when the guy said it will be available. You know, that's what it is. So you decide. I mean, only you can decide what to do with your money.
Right.
It's kind of annoying to be 8 months into waiting on a knife. You get solicitations for more pre-orders. Yeah, like if you don't like the way someone does business,
don't support it.
That's it. That's the
But I think some
strongest
of
thing
these
you can
guys
do.
are like, they're like prolific dudes that like people just buy their shit regardless. But
Yeah,
they got to that point.
right.
Like that's their, you know what I mean? Like I can't hold that against somebody. I don't know. They never give any deals. I mean, we're knife people. We should try and hook it up every now. But that's what I'm saying. Like on the stout, right? That knife is going to retail for $375, maybe a little more because it's Van X and it's costing us a shit ton from Best Tech. But we're going to do the pre-order at like $325. So you'll save like $50 doing the pre-order because
And
you're
I like that
helping us.
approach. I like that approach. Like if I could get, so what's the percentage discount from the retail price there?
I suck at that kind of
Well, just tell me.
375 to 325. So what?
So it's a 15% discount. I mean, it's not meaningless,
Yeah.
right? So if you said to me, "Hey, Ben, you could save 15% on this knife if you just pay now and wait X months," and it's like if I got a bunch of knives sitting around and I want it, but I don't want it today, that's a pretty enticing opportunity. But if you say to me, "Hey, I'm going to charge the same amount when I get the batch,"
that's what bothers me is when that happens, or when it's like $10. It's like, okay. I mean, it depends on the price of the knife. If it's a $150 knife and $10, that's a little different. But if it's a $400 knife and I get it for $390 and wait a year, or the people who get like pissed at people like asking questions about their pre-order, it's like, dude, you're having people pay you up front and wait a year, and then you're mad that they want to ask questions about their order,
right? And
the whole thing is, it's a very interesting. This is the only kind of, I mean, it's the only community I know of where people would even entertain doing it.
I wonder if there's other hobbies. It's got to happen.
I mean, Kickstarter is a thing, but it's different than Kickstarter, really.
It's marginally different.
Yeah.
Because once the Kickstarter hits its goal, it's a pre-order.
The Lush isn't a pre-order. The Lush show, this is what I'm saying. Like, we are trying to do everything we can to not do pre-orders. But it's just like we have so many things in the air that we're going to have to do it on something.
How much is the Lush?
But that'll be the Stout V2. The Lush, well, we got to dial that in with Austin. It's a traditional pocket knives exclusive, but we were shooting for $199.
Damn, that'd be a
S90V
deal on that thing.
Yeah, S90V and fat carbon, camo carbon. We're doing 80s and then Arctic and then lava. And it'll be S90V, $199.
Lava flow fat carbon
pricing. Like, that's the thing. We kind of base it on what we're getting charged, not like.
Yeah, dude, exactly. It's like people don't understand. That's the other thing people don't understand, especially when you have a dealer involved. Like, you got to get a margin. He has to get a margin.
Yeah.
And if Concept can offer good pricing, then you can pass that along.
It's great. I think $199 is great for what you're getting.
You'll sell the shit out of those at $199.
Yeah. Well, we did a small run to start just to, see what people think and if they like it. I think we were ordered 300. So if we sell those, then we'll, get more.
I'll buy one.
I've never seen that one. I've never seen a pre-order and have it released cheaper. Like, I've seen a pre-order and then like it doesn't do well, so then they have a bunch left over and then they sell it for less, because you kind of have to at that point. You got to move knives.
Yeah.
Sticking to your guns and selling it for more than pre-order just cause is like, I get it. There should be some kind of time frame in there, but like, you got to move knives. If you're sitting on knives, you got to move those fuckers. Like, that's how I look at it. I do it to a fault. Like, Colin gives me shit sometimes. Like, I will sell knives if I can sell knives. Like if a dealer's like, hey, I'll take 40. I'm like, fuck yeah, take them. It's like, hey man, we could have sold those on the website and, we would have made some more. It's like, yeah, we would have made more money, but we would have had to ship them all. We would have to do all this shit. And they're just going to hand us a check right now. So I'm going to take it,
Two in the hand is worth one in the bush.
But like, it's something we kind of struggle with. It's like, you want to have stuff on your site because you want to have people go there. That's kind of the way we look at it. Is like we do want to have shit on our website so that people go there and buy them and check the site and not like just totally ignore our website because we only sell through dealers or, I don't know. The whole fucking thing is a fascinating thing.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's really fun to be in it and be able to like make moves and decisions and all that stuff. I mean, you have it down to a science, which is nice. But you also like put your money into it.
I put everything I had into it, and I work on it 7 days a week.
Put your
That's
shit
my
on the
full
line.
time everything.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So it's, yeah.
But it is. It's a great community. It's a product we truly love. We love the product. We love the people. The other brands are a lot. There's a lot of cool fucking people. It's like a great way to spend your time. It's ultra stressful. Like I try not to show it outwardly, but holy shit, it's stressful. But it's worth it. And I'm not complaining. Complaining. It's a blessing.
I agree. Will there ever be a MASH 3? Yeah, so we were planning or are planning to do a run before the end of the year. I don't know if it'll happen, but we're planning to do an S90V run of the MASH with like camo carbon and maybe tie. And I guess it'll be a 3.0 because we could probably come up with some updates. But yeah, we want to do another run. And that one I think we'll do direct because it's a popular model. People want it. It'd be kind of dumb for us to just give it to another dealer. And
I think it creates an opportunity for you to sell it direct.
Exactly. We're trying to go to a model where we do more 50-50. Like on the NIP, we're doing half direct, half dealer. So those dealer orders help us fund the project, but we also put in, a percentage of our own money that goes in to sell direct and get a little more profit on those. It just kind of works out for everybody that way, I think. The dealer ones where we do them as like a dealer exclusive model, it's a little tougher on the dealer because they have to do QC and they have to ship them all and do all that shit. It's a little more stressful, I would think, but they get more squeeze out of it. So it's a balance, but I don't know. That's something we're testing everything and kind of figuring out what works best.
Thank you, Blade Lab. See, Blade Lab is exactly why I made the Gunslinger. I'll be picking up a Gunslinger tomorrow, but haven't bought any Jack Wolfskin cores because I'm not a slip joint dude, so you're hitting your target with me. I made that knife for you, Blade Lab. Exactly. I made it for you. I want my slip joint guys to like it, of course, but I'm not going to be offended if they don't. I made that knife for you.
Right. Let me answer this because it's come up a couple of times. The Evolved EDC Sin pre-order. So what happened was he had a backer. He did the pre-order, which I don't know how many sold, but it wasn't like the whole run was funded by the pre-order. It was like, I don't know, 50 or 70. I don't know. And so he had a backer that was supposed to pay the rest so that they could do the order and then sell the remaining knives and start a business, basically. But it kind of fell through. And they only had the money to pay for a certain amount of knives. But Best Tech obviously made all of them and expected the money. So I think he made a deal with them. If you guys have seen, they've actually sold those Sins with their logo on them. So they rebranded a certain number of them as their own and sold it as a Best Tech model. He got a certain amount of them ahead of time, like pre-production sort of deals. Those he sent out pre-orders on, but he has a remaining amount of pre-orders open. I ordered 2. Both of mine still haven't come because I told him, like, dude, just take care of other people. I don't want to be flaunting those while people are waiting on them. It just seems dumb. But from what I know, he made a deal with Best Tech where he's going to get everything he paid for. He was just putting some more money together to get them over here. And then he's going to fill the rest of the pre-orders and then be done. That was his plan. So he wanted to make it all right. It just didn't work out. The project didn't work out and everything. But he wants to make it right, get everybody their knives, and move on. I don't know where that is in the process right now. And I can't say that that's all going to happen. I'm just telling you what I've heard and what I think. And I think he'll make everything right. So, but it's a matter of time, obviously. So hopefully that explains some of it. You can email him, I think, at the Evolved EDC website or email or whatever. And I've heard he's responding to people and answering. So
Brant Hinder Collector. Twang Thang asked you about the price of the barley. Can you touch on the pricing of the, he's saying, can you touch on the pricing? Is it so expensive because it's through Urban?
So I don't know their exact cost. I have an idea, but yeah, I mean, it's Urban EDC. They have a kind of a premium thing going on. Like that's their reputation that, I don't know, they want to sell shit at a certain price. It's their choice, their knife. They can sell it. I would have liked to have seen it lower, but I don't think it's outrageous or anything. I mean, the plain tie one is $249, and then the versions with the Sagaha wave pattern are $299. So I think for their pricing, it's pretty much on par. What I would have loved to see it on par with their F5.5 pricing, where like 220 to 250 ish. But it is what it is. If you like the design and you want one, I think you can spend a little more and get it. Maybe have some Urban points or something, but it's not our knife. So like we don't dictate the price. You'd have to ask them why it's expensive if you think it's expensive. Was that a politically correct enough answer? I don't know.
No, I mean, ultimately you have no say in it and you don't have the data, and it's up to them to set the price. And I think the answer is because it's Urban EDC.
Right. And I don't have say in it, and it's not my problem. I mean, I don't mean that in like a dickish way. I just mean like if they don't sell them because of the price, it's not my, like, I can't do anything about that. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I want them to sell. I'm promoting the shit out of it. That's our job in this, is promote it, and they sell it. So, and they have a whole cult following of people. So that's who they're probably marketing it towards, not like the nitty gritty knife guy in my live stream right now. You know what I mean?
Dude, they're marketing to the,
the pocket trash guy.
the dude in Silicon Valley who gets the email on a Wednesday or whatever and just goes add to cart, add to cart, add to cart.
Right.
Doesn't think twice about it. Just thinks it's dope, and it can afford it. They definitely have an upscale buyer, by a community. To their credit, it's a great customer base to serve.
If we had done it, we probably would have tried to hit like right under 200 and just tried to sell a shit ton of them.
Hipsters. Jesse Adams said, yes, hipsters.
But there's another way to look at things. Like, you have a higher price, you sell less, but maybe it come out about the same as if you sold a bunch at a lower price. It's just kind of how you want to be perceived and all that shit,
What up, level one? Glad you got your phone working.
But it's a sick knife, so I recommend it. If you can afford one, pick one up. If you got slip joint fever, because you got a locking knife from Jack Wolf this month, go pick up a Barley pre-order.
You'll be happy with it. Kevin sent me one a while ago. Donnie's got it right now. It's very nice.
Donnie to fucking throw that in a post.
Donnie, let's fit it in.
Hit me with a cross post. I'll do the same thing.
It's a nice knife. It's got a great action. It's thinner than a Jack Wolf, and feels like it just gets lost in your pocket. It's a dope knife. Thing is, like, okay, if you spend an extra $50 on it than you wish you had spent, after a couple weeks goes by, you're not thinking about the $50, but you're like, this knife is sick.
Yeah. Do the side covers come off of the barley? Like, no, it's not a, it doesn't have covers. It's a solid titanium scale. If you don't like the faux bolster, you can get the all tie one. The plain tie one doesn't have the bolster lines. They have that on this because of the Sagaha pattern.
I think it looks great. That Sagaha one.
The reason it doesn't have covers is it's meant to be thin.
Yeah.
The whole idea behind this knife came from the Tactile Bear. I got that knife and I was like, damn, I really like how thin this is. And for a slip joint, you're just putting it in your pocket. It's a lightweight EDC and it just disappears. But I don't like clip points on my EDC if I can avoid it. And so I drew it as a sheep's foot. So just a super thin profile with a sheep's foot blade. And then Colin really spiced it up, added the choil, made it look like a real fucking knife instead of a baby drawing. And that's kind of how this thing was born. So it's 0.32 inches. It's stupid thin. Just disappears in your pocket.
I don't mean to talk. I'm not trying to talk negatively about the Bayer, but I'd rather have that.
Yeah. Well, so the funny thing is I wanted it as thin as the Bear, but I'm so glad that it didn't come out that way, that it's just slightly thicker. Like that's 0.27. This is 0.32. I think that little difference makes a huge impact in how solid the knife feels.
Exactly.
Like it feels like like any other knife. It feels solid. It's just thin, but not like stupid thin. Doesn't feel comfortable. It's still comfortable in your hand. I think the choil helps with that too. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate that, dude.
That knife, you know what that knife would just kill it too, as far as being practical, is like in your back pocket. Like that thing literally gets lost in your back pocket. It's so thin you won't even feel like you're sitting on it.
I think like a mini one of those would be crazy. Yeah, that's something.
I gotta get my ass designing stuff again, dude. I'm so rusty. I spend like months without designing anything, and I'm like, oh gosh.
I'd love to see a mini knife from you, dude. I think it would be cool.
You got me thinking about it here as we talk. I'm like, oh, I want to do that. As soon as Donnie gets here and we get up and running, and I can get some help, more help. It's not that he's not being helpful now. He's being tremendously helpful, because you guys have seen my Instagram is now good because of him. It sucked before. Nice. But, you know, he's coming for full time. So I'll get a little more, not a little more, a lot more help. And then I'll be able to design again. Can't wait.
Yeah, it's great.
It's the kind of thing you got to keep up with.
That's the thing. We try to crank out design. That's the thing. Having two people, I think, helps a lot.
Oh, for sure. Especially because you guys are like you have teamwork with your designs. Right. It's not like you each design in a vacuum, like you guys work together, and it's nice.
David, dude, I've been trying to get them to do a Lefty EDC exclusive F5 in fat carbon. I'm like, it's a no-brainer. It's literally a no-brainer. You sell an ass ton of them if you just do fat carbon. Like, slap my name on it, please, and I'll take commission on that. Like, they would just sell. Of course they would, right?
Jesse wants a mini Venom. Kevin has asked for the same thing. Boy, I think that would translate really well.
A mini Venom? Yeah. Yes. Dude. Hell yeah. That
would be dope
on your list. And it wouldn't be too difficult either. You just have
I just scale the bastard down and then tweak as needed. There's plenty of room in that knife.
And you could do a locking version of it without having to even change the size.
The only thing with the locking version of that one is the whole, it's curved all the way down, so you can't put a straight fuller on it.
Yeah, but you could at least something. You can flick a nail nick, dude. You can flick a nail nick.
True. However, not everybody puts their finger in the exact same place.
You just make a big nail nick.
And that looks fucking weird.
You mean a fuller?
Yeah, like a giant moon-shaped crescent moon-shaped fuller. What Crispy says, the two slip joints, he has a bear and a Tortuga, which, dude, I love the word Tortuga. That
Dude, do you remember
always
the
makes me laugh.
Tortuga?
No, what is a
That
Tortuga?
was
I
the
don't
one
remember.
I dicked around. I had you on FaceTime and it had like that crack sound in it.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
took it apart and it like had a
Did we
little
ever
like a
figure
crack.
out what was doing that?
No, they just had me send it back. I was like, all right. They were gonna send me a new one, but never did.
Tortuga.
Dave Warren's awesome. He's from Tuya. He's a good dude. But yeah, that was a shit show with the Tortuga. You guys never saw it because I never showed it. I wasn't gonna, but when you went past, I think it was when you went past half stop, it went like it made this sound. So I had Ben on FaceTime and I was taking it apart just to try to figure out like what is this sound? We were just trying to like figure it out.
It was like whip cracking. There was something weird.
That's not a good. You should try a Jack Wolf, Crispy. I think you'd really like it. And the bear is such a cool design, but it's too thin, and then the gaps and it's just not. It's not. I don't know if it's not engineered well. It's not like executed well or something.
It's designed for a purpose. It is designed to be as thin as possible.
I guess.
So if that's what they told me at the booth.
They could do, like with the barley, you could make it 0.04 thicker, and it would be apparently it could be solid then. So like
all I know is what they told me.
Right.
Without throwing my 2 cents in the deal, I would simply say, if you are looking for essentially the thinnest slip joint on the market, that's your knife.
Yeah, but you should get a barley instead because.
I think if you can handle something 0.5, what is it, 0.05 inches thicker, and you like a straight edge, because isn't only clip points in the bear? Or do they have more than one?
Yeah, they only have only clip points. Like here's the barley and here's the Gunslinger.
Yeah,
I mean, and this is you're always at like 0.45, right? Is that same on this?
Yep.
Yeah. And, so this is 0.32. It's just like stupid thin.
Yep. 25% thinner. But
still feels good in the hand. I want to get to this giveaway, and I got to do it. I got to go to sleep at some
point. Plans for something in full tie from Jack Wolf? I'm always open to suggestions, man. It's probably one of the more common suggestions.
Yeah.
There's some like changes to the
going away from the belt set.
There's some changes I would have to figure out with like screws and stuff. It's not as easy as just saying, hey, make me one. So I'd have to do some work to figure that out.
It would change. It would change a lot. You couldn't do the flutes and stuff, or it would be weird. Unless you did like a milling pattern instead of covers, but then why not just do covers? And I don't know. But yeah, so giveaway, I have some stickers, Slip Life, Lefty, whatever. I have a O-Knife Odical. I think it's yellow G10. It's a little utility knife, bottle opener thing. O-Light O-Pen Mini. These are awesome. By the way, if anybody needs pens, hit me up. I got a whole drawer full of Smooth Precision ones now. Just because I've been working with them, I'm on their affiliate team or whatever. They send me stuff, and then I bought a bunch. So if anybody needs pens, hit me up.
Cheeto Bandito said, tossing some Jack Wolf stickers so we can use them. Oh, it kills my soul, dude. Just use your stickers, please.
Did you ever get that Lefty Dragon Scale or whatever from them?
Huh?
The pen?
Yeah. You want to see it?
Yeah, I'm surprised because I asked and they said they weren't doing lefties in limited editions, and I'm like, they made you one, but I literally work with them, and they didn't even mention it to me.
I asked them.
I know I should ask, but I don't even like the Lefty action. And then there's this Lothar knife with a cool skull lanyard. It's actually a good knife, or decent knife, I should say.
Look,
good budget knife.
I would say that it's not a matter of liking or disliking, because your thumb just works the thing.
Yeah,
I don't
know. It doesn't feel better doing it one way.
I had to know. I had to have one of each to know.
Yeah.
But I really like this pen. He's got some limited edition ones coming out with the blue in it. Did you see that email? Not Lefty's.
The Dragon Scale blue?
There's Valhalla with
it's Valhalla.
Yeah, it's blue in the milling areas.
I don't have a Valhalla.
I like it.
Yeah, I will send you.
Did I ever show you
the? It's about pens. I got so many. I have Zerk, I have copper, brass, bronze. I got fucking tie. I got everything.
Did I show you my Altmog that's fat and then gets skinny higher? You're gonna hate.
I saw the one you had. I love mine.
I got a fat
I think
one.
I do need to get another Saga, Rocky. I sold mine. I kind of regret it. The Saga is so good.
Rock's the man. Yeah, dude. I got this.
I wish he would go back to the cap, like the plunger on those.
I don't care.
Oh man, it irks me. I want the plunger back so bad. What's the stips on the giveaway, Kev? We need to pick a channel. Do you want to hype up your Jack Wolf channel, or do you not care?
What?
Like your subscribers and shit on YouTube?
Someone else needs it more than we do right now. So, who's a channel that's got like under 2,000 subs that we want?
Yeah, there you go. Who's a channel, guys? Give us a channel.
How about Ricky? Did we do him before?
Who?
Ricky Hernandez, or is he? I think we did him before.
Yeah, we did. I think we did Ricky last time.
Yeah, I think so too.
So fuck Ricky.
Kev. There it is.
The chode. It's not as bad as you made it sound.
Dude, I love it because I like having the. Now I'm like I want Calvin to do a fat one.
Do Rocky's channel?
Does Rock have a channel?
Yeah, I forgot he did.
Rock,
today's
your lucky day, broski. What's your channel name?
Yeah,
he said mine is way too small.
Who did? Rocky?
Rocky, yeah. I don't think you can be too small, man. The whole point is to make you less small.
Yeah. I didn't even know you guys had a channel. Drew, Luke, whichever one of you it is, or both.
Look at that.
Crispy Donut Community has a YouTube channel. We've done Jason's channel before. We've done Rob's Nerdy Night. We've done a few of these already. So I'd like to, So are you bowing out, Rocky? What are you doing? Poking yourself in the eye?
What? Yeah, what?
It actually looks. It looks.
Cool. I know. It's crazy. Like. No.
Drew is on duty. Luke here. Got it. He said no. So you're not bowing out. All right. We're just going to do Rocky because that's where we're at now. All right.
You ever see this like dumb optical illusion? It looks better if you do it in front of your face, but it makes the pen look like it's rubber.
Hold on. I can't see you right now.
If you take a pen like this or a pencil and you kind of wiggle it like this and you look right at the pen, it looks like it's rubber. It looks like it's bending. It's not really coming through on the camera. I read it in like a magic trick book when I was like 6.
What's his channel? I looked up Chef Rocky. I didn't see anything. Let me check the iPad over here. The old iPad. Go to channel. What are you on, Ben? Do you have any more?
Any more what?
Yes, what you're on and if you have any more.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Chef Rocky.
Growing in my backyard. I just ate it. Now
are you sure? Is there a personal one that you're on now and then the other one?
What do you need, Oscar? You got to go out, dude?
It's not Chef Rocky, dude. It's just Rocky.
He said Chef Rocky Cordova.
Yeah, but it's really just Rocky Cordova at Chef_Rocky C.
Rest in peace to Deadlock.
Oh yeah, remember the Deadlock that got shot in transit?
What?
Rocky loaned me his Deadlock and I sent it back to him, and it showed up like a 45 went through it. And I got the insurance.
The knife itself had a hole in it, or what? I don't understand.
Yeah, like, dude, it looked like somebody shot it with a 45. Like,
no.
It was bad, dude. The handle was all fucked up. So I got the insurance money. I gave it to Rocky plus a little bit, and he's working with the Hawks to get a new one made. So he'll come out probably sort of on top because they'll give him like a titanium one now instead of aluminum and shit. But all right, so this is the channel. We're just gonna pick a video. Do you have any like full length videos? One. Come on, Rocky. You gotta start working on your channel here, bro.
March 1st wasn't that long ago. We still got 100+ people in here. How y'all doing? We don't have that many in the chat, but I guess we got a lot of people who just like to watch.
Yeah. Gotta watch 30 seconds. That's the trick here. That's how you keep the subscribers. I figured that out. Fuck. I didn't put the link.
Say that again. What'd you say?
Fucked up. You have to watch the video for like 30 seconds. Otherwise, the subscribers get scrubbed.
Oh. Did you hear that, everyone?
Yeah. I did a live stream where I had like my 15K one, where I had 13 or 14 packages, 2 of which were from you. And I hit 14 channels. They all got like 200 and something subs, and they like all got wiped.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking brutal.
Well, at least you tried.
Yeah, exactly. I tried. But it sucked because I had a bunch of channels be like, you know, I lost them all. And then I felt like responsible somehow. You know,
it was like a roller coaster of emotions for those guys.
No good deed goes unpunished, you know?
That's right, dude. Ain't that the truth?
All right. I pinned the comment, guys. You can go watch it and everything. Watch 30 seconds, sub, and like the video. Yes.
So while these guys are watching 30 seconds of Rocky's video, can I tell you the thing that happened to me the other day that sucked pretty bad?
Yeah.
So, you know, using the phone while I'm going pee, which is stupid. And I dropped that sucker right in the toilet. And so you got to go in after it, right? Real fast.
You got to instantly reaction.
You got to go, right, dude. You got to go right in. And so
then you got to go rinse it and shit.
It sucked, you know, and it wasn't a urinal. It was like a toilet. So
was it at home?
No, at work.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah,
but it's like
not a nasty public bathroom, but still not cool. So going after it left-handed, right? Well, I wear my watch on my left hand, so there's just wet pee water, and I got like splashing everywhere. Like, this
did you put it in a bag of rice or something after you rinsed it?
No, I just like
waterproof.
Went right to the sink and like ran it under the water, trying not to get water in the speakers or in the charging port.
Yeah, but you got piss in there, so.
I know. So you get a little bit, but you don't like drown it, you know? And then I'm like, you know, like an old Nintendo cartridge. I got to blow the water out of this thing. So it's like, and then like piss water all over you. Just the worst, dude. The worst.
Is it fine?
It's fine. Thing is fine. I took the case off.
I think they're water in the back
now. They really are, dude. But I got to tell you, man, I was like stunned after that whole thing went down, because it was like the whole thing in under 30 seconds, you know.
You're just in shock, and you're saying, is my phone working? Is it
sitting
working?
In my office like God damn it, like I knew better, you know. Just keep the phone in your pocket when you're
he's got an Ultim phone now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's scented.
Dude, I know how it is, man. What were you like? Were you on your phone like this or like on the phone?
No, I wasn't talking to anyone. I'm like
Then you'd be
scrolling.
using AirPods, you know?
Yeah, no, I
What
was
I
like,
try to do is I try to have something on, like a video or whatever, and I'll just have earbuds in or have it play and keep it in my pocket.
I'm
So
just
I
glad I
can't
was
drop it in there.
right. I'm just glad I was going number 1 and not number 2. That could have been worse.
I mean, I don't know, man. It might have never got wet. Might have just sat up on the log.
Ugh, yeah, it's just you got to reach in. But yeah, that sucked. Because it all just happened so fast. Like you said, you don't have time to hesitate. You're just going right in there.
Yeah, no,
And
you're not even thinking, dude. Your
no,
hand
you
went.
just got to
Your
save the
hand went.
phone.
You probably put your hand in your stream.
There was a lot of juggling going on and a mess was made. And I'm just sitting there like, I felt like the dude in the meme who's like sitting on the park bench, you know, like looking all sad. Just
It's so
like,
good.
Not the best moment.
So good.
Random
Update on the contacts, dude. That contact dispenser I got for the bathroom.
Oh yeah.
It's fucking great. That shit's
All
great, dude. Once I figured it out, it took a minute to figure it out, but dude, and I literally don't wear glasses anymore. Like, my sight isn't that bad that, like, if I get close enough, I can see, like, perfectly, basically. So, like, in the morning, I'll kind of just, like, wince through a little bit of work, and then I'll go put the contacts in or whatever. And if I have to go in the office, I just put them right in. And then at night, I just take them out, and I can still see my phone fine. So, like, I might wear my glasses for, like, an hour a week, like, tops. It's fucking awesome. I hate them so, like, yeah.
You'll never go back.
And dude, every time I wear them, it feels so weird. It's like fish bowling type shit.
Yeah.
Probably because I haven't gotten used to the wearing glasses with that new prescription because I never do it. So.
Yep. Well, I'm glad you like them. They changed my life.
Yeah.
They let me live my life, and I do wear glasses at night because I gotta let my eyes breathe, and then I can't see when I take them out. I'm 4.75 in both eyes, negative 4.75.
Yeah, that's pretty blind.
It's blind, dude. It's bad.
Yeah, the breathing thing, I don't know. I feel like the contacts I have are pretty, like, they're mostly water. So I think they breathe pretty well. So
they do, but my eye doctor just said if like you can take them out, like when I get home, I shower, and I like if you take them out after the shower, they almost like suck to your eyes. So I just like to take them out before I jump in the shower. You know, get out of the shower, put my glasses on for a couple hours until bedtime.
Do you shower in the morning too?
Twice a day, every day, like obsessively. I can't not, dude.
Twice?
Oh, every day.
Yeah, I can't do like it. I'm a once a day guy for sure. Like I can't not shower. My wife is like an every other, and it bothers me almost.
Twice a day. No matter what.
But yeah, so I usually shower in the morning or like, you know, before I do stuff versus after. Twice a day is crazy, dude. How do you even I wouldn't even have the time. Like with my kid and everything, there's just no way.
I make the time. I can't sleep unless I'm clean, and I wake up. I just got to be clean. I have to be. It's just.
I just try not to get dirty.
No. I get oily, dude. I get sweaty. I'm like oily. Just gotta clean it off. I know it's a lot. For my sanity, it's what I got to do.
Yo, what up, Tyberski?
Part of the OCD. We all have it in some form or fashion. -9, Matt. Are you a -9 in your prescription?
Is that a thing?
That's fucking crazy. Someone had a question for me. There's a funny stories about people dropping their phones in the toilet. Apparently, I'm not the only one. So someone said, who is that fellow that asked an unanswered question about the quantity of Gunslingers released tomorrow? I don't share the production numbers, but dude, there's a lot of them. So
if you get think you can take the scale off and look at the number underneath, and that'll give you an indicator where you're
could.
at.
Unless they do
you know.
how many, unless they number them. I hadn't even thought about that. I don't know do they number them 0 through the end number per scale, or are they sequential all the way through the batch? I don't know. But anyway, he's like, in other words, if there was 100 each of 5 colors, are they numbered 1 to 100 5 times, or are they numbered 1 to 500?
I don't think so, because this one was like 4 something.
Yeah, so they must be sequentially numbered.
That'd be a shit ton of knives, dude.
Yeah. So he said he's going to be up on a roof. You dog one. I can't imagine, with as many as I made, I can't imagine you won't be able to get one in the evening from one of my dealers.
And if you can't, that's fucking, that'd be awesome.
If I sell them all out before you get off that roof, I'll send you one. I'll sell you one of mine. It ain't gonna happen. Just don't necessarily think they're all gone if you see the top 3 dealers are sold out.
That's a good sign, though, that people are thinking that'll happen.
And I know, and don't get me wrong, I'm flattered, but I watch the data, and I just think it would be safe to say that my smaller dealers will still have them throughout the weekend.
Yeah, the dealer thing, I don't know. You never know, dude.
You never know.
Damn, dude, 29th.
Yeah, Josh is by far my number 1 collector.
Damn, dude.
He doesn't even know if it's
at least one of
30.
everything. Couple of some, but
he has every Big Bro and every Feel Good. He built 2 complete sets.
Yeah, I can't go that far. I start to, and then I'm like, and then I fall in love with a particular knife. Like, it's not even, for me, it's not even the color sometimes. It's just the knife. Like, this limoncello Feel Good just has the best walk and talk ever. So, like, this thing could be dog shit color, and it would be my favorite one. Like, I love the limoncello. I have no issue with it.
Their own preferences and how they like to collect, right? That's what makes this unique. So it makes it fun.
No, that's crazy, dude. I thought I had a lot of them.
No.
Got double. All right, let's
the only person who has more than Josh is me.
Yeah, right. In your back pocket.
Is Jack Wolf planning for my frame locks in the future? Was this a let's try and see what happens? Hey Joe, it was a let's try and see what happens with the expectation that if this is successful, I will convert more models in the same style.
So what he's asking is, do you already have others dialed in?
No, I didn't want to get too far ahead of myself. That would have been that could have potentially been.
That's good news. More slippies.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it took a year just to develop this and bring it to market. So it's going to take a while to get more of them to market.
But you have a recipe now, at least.
I have a recipe, and it's a marathon, not a sprint. So, like, there's a lot of slip joints that have to get made finally for a second time. I mean, look how long it's been since a sharpshooter. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
The fact that a K9 sold for $400 on eBay tells me, there's a demand for subsequent runs.
And that was one that, it
was slow.
Yeah.
It was a slow go.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
If they sell in the end, I guess is the, especially since you're on a dealer system, they're buying them. You're getting paid already.
Yep.
As long as they sell and not like years go by, it's fine.
Exactly.
Unless they are unhappy about it or whatever.
Well, at some point, if they stack up on them, it becomes my problem.
But you have enough dealers that it spreads it out, I think, that no one dealer is taking a big hit if that happens, really. All right, I'm going to pull this. You guys you've had your chance. 55. Let's do it.
We usually get more than that, but that's okay.
Paul Mills, what up?
Paulie.
Yeah, I think I waited way too long. Usually I take too long, but this was like an extra hour. But that's why I like doing it at the end, because you guys are, you're the diehards. You stick around. I don't know anybody who would stay up this late just to win something.
No.
Unless, so you've all suffered enough. One of you has won.
Paul Mills. He can barely believe it. Congrats, Paul.
Folding that bitch up now. Get it out to you. Oh, man. So I'm starting sort of a new schedule thing at work next week, which is nice. Cutting back, finally. I didn't go full on, but losing a little bit. At least a day. Probably more. So
Is that a negotiation you had with them?
yeah, I mean, a couple of weeks ago or so, I was like, they had somebody leave and then they wanted me to do his job. And I was like, I want to go part-time. Like, I don't want to do more shit. Like, I want to do less shit. So
moving me in the wrong direction.
What?
They were moving you in the wrong direction.
Yeah, so it kind of worked out a little bit where I took over this thing and I'm actually kind of good at it. And they just need somebody to do that. So they're like taking away everything else I do, which is nice actually. And I'm able to kind of like make my schedule, and I just have to hit a certain number of like hours essentially, and kind of like a quota thing, but it's going to be, I mean, I could take every Friday off. I could, take another day here and there. It'll be good. Because right now I'm working basically 9 to 5. And it's like, I don't know. It's tough with everything I do to be 9 to 5 like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Structured. Like, it's just be nice to be able to, So we'll see how it goes. And I'll go from there. But I think it's a good step in the right direction.
That's good.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything you wanted to talk about before we wrap this up? It's been
let me just plug a couple things.
Yeah.
So for anyone in the group, if you're not in our Facebook group, I'm sorry, for everyone in the chat or in the live stream, if you're not in my Facebook group, check it out. Jack Wolf Knives Worldwide. Worldwide is one word. We're over 900 people now. And it's a really good community. No drama, no bullshit. Just lots of good knife talk, knife pictures, and camaraderie. On Instagram, every month we do a giveaway of the Jack Wolf that's dropping that month. And so there's a Purple Haze Gunslinger. And to enter that giveaway, you just go to my Instagram profile and click the Linktree link in the profile. And the first clickable link in the Linktree is to the giveaway. And you just enter your name and your email address, and you end up on my newsletter list. And other than that, Gunslingers tomorrow. Don't be afraid to work the list on my website, authorized dealer list, accessible from the 3-bar dropdown on my newly built website that I had to put together this morning in a panic.
It looked good. I looked at it on my phone. It was very mobile friendly, which was nice. It kind of just stacked everything.
Yep.
Yeah. I like the color, like the scheme you have going. It's kind of like a Grand Theft Auto look. I like it.
I'll take your word for it. I've never played that game. It's kind of after my time. Before it got real popular.
Yeah,
well, not the original ones, but when they got really popular.
The theme kind of looks like that, which is good. Like, I love that theme. So
cool.
All right, cool. Thank you guys. Sorry, Paul. Thank you.
Oscar says bye.
I didn't give the
yo.
Oscar almost got swallowed by a recliner.
Yeah, Oscar almost got crushed by my fat ass.
You can email me there, Paul. Sorry about that. All right. Thank you guys for coming out. Appreciate it. I think I'm on Saturday with Javon, and I'll see you guys then. Get yourself a Gunslinger tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, and love you guys. Peace.